Welcome everyone to session 2 of Hands of the White Wizard, a campaign for the One Ring, second edition from Free League Publishing. We are continuing the first adventure in the campaign called The Beast of Dunland. And let's go over quickly what happened last time. So last time we were headed toward uh, Isengard. We had a meeting with Saruman that was scheduled, and on the way we found a burned out farm. We followed some tracks. There were a couple different sets of tracks. There were many tracks of booted men, and looked like they perhaps led some sheep along with them, as well as we found a separate set of tracks that were rather large and heavy looking. It was either an incredibly large and heavy man or something similar. We followed that one first, and it went straight up into the rocky hills, and we lost it there. But we followed the other track for a ways, and it was headed north, and we thought maybe they were headed towards Crow Hall, a small settlement in Dunland. Well, we were at the farm, and one of our rangers, I think it was Adrahil, um, knew this person. His name was Sigulf. He was a Dunlending, and it appeared that he and his wife had been slain. We saw their bodies. His sheep had been taken, and it looked as though he had a daughter, Glendowyn, that was also missing. And didn't at least we didn't see her body, so we assume maybe she's been taken by whoever raided this farm. Well, we traveled for a few days in pursuit, but were unable to follow them. Rains washed out the tracks, and so, dejected, we headed back to Isengard. And back there, we met with Saruman, with the man of skill, and he told us that a beast has been harrying the people of Crow Hall, and he asked us to render aid. He said that their leader, Gorsad, was once tutored at Isengard, and Saruman looks for good leaders, and he believes that Gorsad is one, and he would like his son, Tuirlus, to be tutored at Isengard as well. For after all, Gorsad cannot rule forever, and when it is time for him to step down, or if he should pass away, it is likely that his children would take his spot, and his son Tuirlus is presumed to be the heir apparent. He gave us a small silver box and asked us to present this to Gorsad as a gift from Saruman. Well, on the way, we met a woman seated around a fire, and she introduced herself as Kaelur, and she sang us a song of Helm Hammerhand and Wolf of Dunland. And she seemed to take great interest in our adventures and what we were doing. And by dawn, as we all woke up, and even those of us on watch didn't notice, Kaelur was gone. She had packed up and moved on in the dark of night. Well, we arrived at Crow Hall, and we were met by the captain of the guard, a man named Dunrock. And Dunrock was very stern and unfriendly. Well, he took the box from us and escorted us into the hall. And before he presented the box to Gorsad, we noticed Dunrock opening the box. He said he had to check it to make sure there was no traps or something that might harm Gorsad, which seemed understandable. But we spotted him removing a bottle from the box before giving it to Gorsad. And we called him out on this, but he flatly denied, lied to our faces, said there was no bottle in there. Well, we could tell that Gorsad was not well. In fact, as he would try to get up, he would grimace and groan and sit back down, and it looked as though he had some sort of affliction of the lower extremity. We counseled with Gorsad, and he told us of the beast that torments them. He said that the crows there at Crow Hall will warn of danger. Anytime anyone comes close, the crows begin to squawk and make a great racket that alerts everyone inside. Well, of late, the crows have grown quiet, and the beast twice now has gotten right into the palisade. It has taken livestock. The first time it took half the sheep and pigs and killed a few people. And then the third time it came, it took all of the sheep and pigs and killed a few more people. We learned that Gorsad has ordered his people to stay in the hall for protection. with a small exception, and that's his son, Tuirlus. His son has been sent in search of the beast, and he has not returned, and Gorsod is concerned for his son's safety. He took with him a small contingent of warriors, and they've been out looking for this beast. Now, we noticed when we arrived at Crow Hall that they had sheep in a pen there inside the fenced yard of the hall, and he had told us that all their sheep had been eaten by this beast, yet here they had sheep, and we wondered perhaps these are Sigulf's sheep. Perhaps raiders from Dunland took these sheep, lest they starve in the winter. And it's one thing to take the sheep, but they also, if it was them, they murdered Sigulf and his wife, and the daughter is missing. Well, we met a few other fellows. Persons. We met Vila, who is Gorsod's young daughter. She's 12, 13 years old, and she's very devoted to her father. We also met Dunrock, the captain of the guard's sister. Her name was Dunwalla, and she was a little creepy. She wore crow feathers around her, and she seemed steeped in mystery and ritual. And Vila did not like her at all. Whenever whenever Dunwalla would speak, Vila would curl up against her father. Well, we ended up healing Gorsod's affliction. It turned out to be gout, and using a healing roll, we managed to heal him. And that was met with much joy from the assembled people at Crow Hall, but we did notice that Dunwalla gave a little side look to her brother Dunrock, as though they did not like what had just happened. Maybe they don't want the intervention of Saruman. Maybe they don't want sorcery in the hall. We don't know. But she was very creepy. She asked to meet privately with Thaladir, one of our party, and questioned our motives. And Thaladir said, we are here to do something, and we respect your ways, but we need to see this through. And she seemed okay with that. And she ended up giving you a crow feather, a token or a totem, as you wish. And you did say, Thaladir doesn't like this, but he doesn't want to offend her, so I'm going to take it. Well, that night, we were sleeping in a barn. The hall was filled with people. We chose to sleep in a barn. And Adrahil was out... I think he was relieving himself. I forget why he was out, but I think it was something along those lines. Just stepped out of the barn for a moment and happened to look out at the fence and saw a large man covered in mud with scraggly hair and beard. The man was wide-eyed, and he looked directly at Adrahil and then turned and fled as soon as he was spotted. And that's where we ended the session. Now, just as a reminder, we have Saruman as our patron, and so we get to choose with Saruman as our patron, we get to choose 3 skills, and for the length of what we're doing, those skills will be. We can get a magical success by spending a point on there of one of our fellowship points. And we did use that last time to our advantage. We used, I believe that's how we got the magical success on healing. And so we're still in the same adventuring phase. This resets at the start of the next fellowship phase, but we can spend one of our 6 fellowship points to get a magical success on one of those skills. And I'm just looking now to see if I've got the skill. We chose healing, riddle, and awe. So we can do that again. If we want to get a magical success on healing, riddle, or awe, we can spend one of our fellowship points. We can also use our fellowship points at the end of a council. We can spend a number of fellowship points to add an equal number of successes to the outcome. So if we're failing the council, we can dump a bunch of points in it and make sure we pass. We can also use those points to recover hope during a long rest. And as it stands, none of us have any loss of endurance. We've recovered all of that, but we are down a little bit of hope. So we've got Targon, you are down 4 points of hope, and we've got Moriel is down 1 point, and Thaladir is down 2 points, and Kalan here is down 5 points. And so we have a small deficit of hope, but we're going to have Yule at the end of this session, and you'll be able to recover all of your hope at Yule. So, don't feel like you need to hold back during this next session. So let's pick things back up where we were. I'm going to take us to a map of Crowhall, and we can hear the crows calling. They alerted when this man showed up at the fence, and it's evening. Adrahil, you saw this. I think you grabbed Targon to bring him out and show him this. Your fellow ranger.
I know I for certain grabbed Callan here as I wanted his elf eyes to perhaps
I think you're
have
correct.
more keen sight.
Yep, I think it was Callan here. So you called out Callan here, and the two of and Callan here. You did not see this man, but you look at the spot and you see tracks, and these are heavy, deep booted tracks, and these look just like those tracks we saw back at Sigulf's farm. And so let's pick up the action there. Adrahil and Callan here. You are there at the edge of the fence. Maybe we're like right over here on this side. What do we do?
I'm going to follow the tracks.
It is night. It will be difficult, but it's not impossible. You can make a hunting roll, but you'll have a -2 penalty on it.
I was thinking of maybe doing stealth so he wouldn't know I was.
Ooh, okay.
Tracking him, maybe.
Yeah, with the stealth roll, just do a straight stealth roll for that.
Okay. And okay.
Nice, excellent roll. You get over the palisade, and Adrahil, do you go with?
Yes, I think Adrahil would try and see if he could follow the track into the woods.
You get out very quietly. The only light source you have is the moonlight shining down on the ground, but you're both skilled. We've got elf eyes and a ranger's instinct. You feel the ground, feel these prints in the soft dirt and mud here, and you follow it out into the trees. You get maybe 30 meters or so, 30 yards before the tracks start to get a little bit more difficult to follow. And this is where it will take a hunting and fishing roll. You've been pretty sneaky getting out here, so that you're not raising an alarm or anything. But at this point, you're going to need to make a roll. Adrahil, do you want to roll that hunting roll?
I will do my best. Is it with the 2-die penalty?
Yes, just because it is dark. You are good at hunting. There's still a chance you can get this.
Could I use my leadership distinctive feature as I attempt to lead my companion and myself along this trackway?
Yes, because you had the foresight to grab someone else rather than just pursue after this person. You know that 4 eyes are better than 2, and you wanted the elf's eyes to help you out here. And as you lead the way, nice. Just by 1, you get the success. As you follow these tracks, they are loping. Like this person has a somewhat uneven gait. Maybe they're favoring a leg a little bit. You see, a smaller step and then a larger step, and a small step and a large step. And it's not hard to follow this. And you stop and you listen. And you still hear the calling of the crows distant at Crow Hall. But out here it's very quiet and very still. And following these tracks, they head straight to the southeast, kind of over towards the hills. Let me grab our map of the Eastern Lands. So here is Crow Hall up here, and They're headed right down, kind of in the direction of Isengard, into these rocky, craggy hills. And it is steep slopes, loose stones. You know that it's going to slow you down, but it's also going to slow down your quarry. Now, you get maybe a quarter mile or so, little over half a kilometer from Crow Hall. Do you continue to go out by yourselves, or do you follow the tracks while you can, or what do you choose to do? As you know, leading this hunt, Adrahil, I'll let you make that choice.
I
I
will,
will note.
perhaps one of us should stay here and keep the track, and the other could return and fetch the rest of the party.
Yeah, I will note that being one of the folk of the dusk,
Yeah, this is good
I
for
can
you.
I can achieve magical successes out here in the dark woods.
Yep.
So I can probably keep his trail pretty easily.
Right, I will return to Crow Hall and get the rest of our group, and then we will uh, return here.
Sounds
Uh,
good.
as you go back to get the others, Cullen here, give me a scan roll as you are listening intently.
Okay. Yeah, I might as well try that now.
Yeah, you want to spend that hope and get a magic
Being
success?
yeah, being folk of the dusk, when in a forest or at night, I can spend one hope for a magical success.
So when it pulls up that
Um,
second screen, if you select Hope, then it will give you the option to select Magical Success. You can select that, and then it won't roll the feat die because it'll automatically be a success. If you want to do Keen-Eyed as well, I'd let you be inspired on this, since you're spending Hope.
oh, cool. Uh, might as well.
Nice, great success. So when we use magic, the eye awareness does increase. Now, describe for me what sort of magical effect happens when you call upon your innate magical abilities.
For scanning, I imagine it's
Like, is there something visual that happens that if someone else were around, they might see, or something like a sound that you hear? Do you quiet the wind, or what do you think you do?
yeah, um, yeah, maybe you might hear uh the wind goes quiet and the leaves will stop rustling and maybe there'll be like a very slight subtle twinkle in my eyes, like as if there's like stars behind them.
Nice. And you gaze out, and you can see these tracks, almost as though the starlight and the moonlight shines down upon them, leading a path up into the hills. It takes about 30 minutes for the rest of the group to arrive. Um, Adderhill, you make it back to Crow Hall. I assume you rouse everyone.
Yes, I will quickly awaken the rest of my companions.
Do you alert like Dunrock or anyone else at Crow Hall about what you saw or what you found?
I certainly do not yet. I keep this amongst our party for now.
Um, as you all come out of the barn, I'm going to have Thaladir give me a scan roll.
That's unlikely to succeed.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's fine. I haven't
Yep.
noticed anything. No danger at
Don't
all.
notice anything. Now, if we were watching the movie and we see you come out of the barn and head towards the fence, the camera might show up in the one of the tallest parts of Crow Hall. A light is on, and this is the tower that you climbed to go and visit Dunwalla. But your character does not see that there is a candlelight lit in that room. We head over the fence. Are we all trying to be quiet so as to not alert people that we're onto something, or do you raise a general alarm? It sounds like Adrahil, you choose not to. Does anyone choose to do so?
I think
No, I think staying quiet.
Yeah, quiet's better.
Because it's business.
Yeah. You make it out back to where Cullen here is waiting. Cullen here, you are probably squatted down on the ground looking at these tracks, trying to make yourself look small, not draw any attention to yourself. And in this state of heightened awareness, you can hear the clomping of many feet, 10 feet clomping through the mud and brush as they approach, and you still keep your eyes fixed on that trail when the others get there. Let's say that the first one there is Moriel. Moriel, your swift elven legs get you up there. You see him squatted down. What do you do, Moriel?
I guess I'll just ask, like, if you've seen anything yet while you've been watching out here.
Nothing new. Just been keeping an eye on this trail.
All right.
Should be easy for you to spot as well.
Now, huffing and puffing, bringing up the rear, we have Gorik. Now, Gorik, have you been with us this entire time? You, of course, missed last session, or did we meet you at Crow Hall? How did you decide to bring Gorik into the adventure?
I think we can keep it simple and pretend I've been there the whole time.
Yeah, just you're kind of in the background. You're short. The camera just shows the top of your head in most of the scenes, but now it pans down and we see Gorik, huffing and puffing up to the group. You were just ready to get down for a nice rest, and now the elves are saying, "Hey, we've got trouble," and you look over there and give me a scan roll, Gorik, as you're looking for these tracks that these elves apparently see.
Righty.
Oh, nice. Great success. Yeah, you see them as well. In fact, you almost see that magical glow on this, and maybe it steals your breath for a moment as you see these tracks, as plain as though you had made them yourself and knew exactly where to look. What would your reaction to that be?
Have I been told that what it is we're following? Like, have y'all said anything about the very large man?
I assume Adrahil would have said something to get you out of the barn. Adrahil, is that correct?
Yes, I certainly would have filled everyone in on what we had seen as we traveled back to Kellen here.
Now,
And what seems is a large man, correct?
Yep,
That's all we know.
And judging by the tracks that we saw, now we have a couple of opinions on maybe what this could be. As we kind of talked over this last session, what this might be. Moriel, you had an idea of what it might be. Do you recall what you had said?
So I was thinking it could be like a Beorning.
That would explain a few things. That would explain these tracks, this wild-looking man, maybe the beast that's attacking Crow Hall.
That's what I'm thinking.
We did find a man as we were at the beginning of Last Adventures. We were following the trail of this sheep herd that was stolen. We did find the body of a Dunlanding man, older, his chest just ripped open as though by some beast. And you thought maybe it's a Beorning. And I don't know if many of you have had experiences with Beornings, but most folk would be aware that shapeshifters are a thing, and that would definitely explain what's going on. And so this could be a dangerous quarry that you pursue. Gorik, what would you think about that?
I think I see those tracks and say, these tracks, they lead me to believe Moriel is right, and our fears have been realized. We chase a Beorning.
Now, do we want to stay together, or do we want to split up and cover more ground?
I would prefer to stick together, since I think we have more questions than answers at this point. So
absolutely,
it might be better. We're not sure what we're facing here.
And at least at this point,
my
there's
take.
still only one set of tracks. So
who takes the lead in following these tracks? I'm thinking maybe our Mirkwood elf, because you've got this magical effect going where you can see them plain as day, or do you pass it over to someone else? To maybe one of the
Yeah.
rangers or another elf?
Yeah, Moriel should be able to see them as well.
Yep, I think
She's a
Moriel is
Mirkwood
also a
elf as
Mirkwood
well.
elf.
Yeah.
So if she wanted to take point, that's fine with me.
Or could I give like a bonus or something?
Yeah, so if you
we
work together, it would give. If you
Yeah.
you could like if you spent hope, you'd be able to help them out there.
Okay.
We will need to do another hunting roll as we follow these tracks. Now, this one will, because of the magical effect, will not have the -2 penalty. Moriel, do you want to do that, or do you want to let one of the rangers take that?
I don't have the best hunting skill, but I could always try.
If you want to give it a go, you certainly can.
I can as well.
No.
Oh, missed it by 2. So you travel for about 30 minutes. And the track, at first it was going in a straight line. Now it's turning to the left and kind of heading up in a northeast direction up into the hills. So it's taken you in a bit of a loop here. So maybe it on the map it came down and now is turning back up into the hills like that. And it gets a little tougher here because it's so steep. While we're doing this, let me have Targon give me a scan roll as well. Targon, you are your eyes they're dark adapted, but they're nowhere near as sensitive as the eyes of the elves. And as you are looking, there comes a time where you don't think you can see these tracks, and you think, this thing's leading us up into the hills. This could be very dangerous. The elves say, I think it went this way, but you don't see it, and you begin to have doubts as far as if you're even still on the trail. But you're keenly aware that you've been taken away from the safety of Crow Hall. Do you say anything?
Well, exactly that. Yeah, to the group that it looks like we've taken this trail as far as we can go, and it just goes straight up. So I think we backtrack and see if we can pick up the trail further down, and if not, we might end up going back to Crow Hall because they could be missing us here at dawn. And it would raise, again, more questions on their part of what we're up to.
What about Adriel? How do you respond to that? Do you agree?
I think that yes, there is some wisdom in that. That it would not be wise for us to be gone when the rest of Crow Hall awakens. But at the same time, I am wishing to hopefully pick up the trail, as I would like to know what this thing was.
If you recall something that you had heard, Adriel, Gorsod had mentioned that his people were hungry. That they had, and in fact, I think one of you was going to go and shoot a deer and bring it back before the council, and you were told there's no game around. These hills have been hunted clean by ourselves as well as that beast. You will not find game, and you start to notice that a lot of the deer and things that you would see at night, you're seeing no signs of them. You're not hearing them. You're not seeing them. There are no tracks. Any large game that you would expect to see in this area, you're not finding, and that makes you a little concerned that perhaps this is very dangerous ground. Something has upset the natural balance here, and as a ranger, that's something that you feel a compulsion, I would assume, to try and correct that. Everything in its order and in its place, and it seems like those words you're finding to be true. You're not seeing any any wild animals out here at all. Even owls and the like, you're just not hearing and not noticing. However, let me have one of our elves. Let's have our high elf of Rivendell. Let me have Thaladir make an awareness roll.
Let's play it on the safer side.
Oh, a Gandalf
Yeah.
rune, automatic success. Yeah. So just as you hit this patch, and the tracks are getting more difficult to find. In fact, you think maybe you've reached the last of the tracks that you can see for some time. In fact, and they're getting more and more stretched out. You might see one print every 5 or 10 meters. As you're looking at the ground, and even the elves are branching out, trying to find which way is this going. You catch something in the wind. It's a smell, and it smells like animal, and it smells close, and it's just upwind of you, and it's kind of to the right. You don't see anything in this darkness, but you smell animal, and it smells maybe like a strong scent of fur and hair, and just that musky sort of smell that you'll sometimes pick up off of a wild animal.
I'm still trying to remain quiet. I think we had agreed about something about like hooting like an owl to alert the rest of our party,
Yep.
didn't we?
Yep,
Or am I
hoot
just
twice
being
like a barn
insane?
owl.
Yeah, I will do exactly that.
As the rest of
Well,
you
I
hear
guess
the-
I am pretty bad at it though.
well,
Yeah.
we'll say
Saladir
that
is
you,
really
you
close
give a
to the
fantastic
safe
hoot. That sounded more like a great horned owl. I don't know if that was a barn owl, but as you let out this hoot, because no one has heard any owls this entire stretch, everyone picks up on that, and everyone instantly freezes. This is the agreed upon sign. Hey, one of us has found something, and if it was not dangerous, we'd say, "Hey, come here." But because it's this sound, this is the signal for everybody stop and look and be ready, and everyone freezes. And Thaladir, as you're looking, you see movement up ahead. There's a steep slope, and there are some shadows low to the ground moving, and you count at least 2 or 3, if not more. And they seem to be pacing the party, kind of moving ahead of where we're going, and just watching and waiting. You can't quite estimate the distance correctly, but you would guess they're probably 30 meters, maybe 100 feet away.
There's not enough of them, but I still draw sword just to be on the safer side.
Okay.
It's not particularly glinty, to be honest. So.
No, it's so dark that's unlikely to make any sound. Do you approach them at all? Or
No,
stay
I'll
with the
just
group?
wait for the rest of the party.
Okay. Let me have one of the Mirkwood elves. Let's have Moriel. You've been following these tracks. You hear that hooting of a barn owl, and you see Thaladir. He's got his sword beginning to draw out slowly, and he's staring straight ahead through the trees. Let me have you give me an awareness roll.
Okay.
And if you want to spend hope, you can get that magical success with the
Yeah, I will.
Folk of the Dusk.
Sure.
Nice, a great success. You see up ahead, as you look, you see the moonlight reflecting. And is this like some sort of elf spell? Do you speak a few words and will the moon to shine a little brighter, or do you ask gently of the trees to part so you can see this? What is your magical?
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Getting the trees to kind of move out of the way so the moon can shine down and give me better sight.
As you speak slowly under your breath, you feel the wind pick up gently, and it slowly moves the trees and parts them. It lifts the branches. I'm going to get a point of eye awareness here. And you look and you spot wolves. And these wolves are They're very thin and emaciated. These wolves have likely not eaten for some time, and they think they've just found a bounty. You can see them. You see their teeth are bared. Their ears are up. Tails are down as they're looking in a hunting posture at the group.
They're looking at our group?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll just get my bow ready in case they attack.
Do you point this out to anyone else? You'd have to do
Do
it very
we all see this?
quietly. Right now, this is just Moriel that sees it. So yeah, would you let the others know
Okay.
what it is that you see?
Yeah, I would. Am I like close enough that they can see me, or would I have to go back? And
That
tell
the
them?
wolves can see you?
The group.
Oh, that the group? I think so. At least most people around you would see you. You might turn around and maybe make a hand gesture
Yeah.
or something. Maybe you point and hold up a certain number of fingers. I think there's 5 of them or something, and then point in a direction, and then you draw your bow, and that would alert everyone.
Okay.
I'm going to take us to another map here, and let me turn off the crow sounds. There's no crows here right now. And let me draw some tokens out here.
Hang on, now that you mentioned that we don't need crows and we may have been spotted by someone when leaving, is it possible that someone who commands crows can command wolves? As I remember being told that if we come to kill this monster, we may die during that.
Yeah, we did hear something like that, didn't we?
Like what?
Yeah, we
I'm
were,
being
we
told
were
that
warned
if-
not to harm crows at all.
Oh, right, right.
Let me grab a couple of wolves here. You see 4 very skinny-looking wolves and one wolf that looks a little bit stouter. Like that one is maybe the alpha, gets the preferential treatment. They're still off quite a ways, but you are all now aware. As you look in that direction, you can all see those shadows moving, and you can begin to hear the pad of their paws on the ground as they slowly tighten that circle around us.
So they are aware of us.
Oh,
And
yep, definitely.
they've been watching us.
Yep.
So there's no hope of them sneaking away on our part.
Possibly, if you can either frighten them off or intimidate them, or maybe, I mean, you could make a run for it, hope that you're faster than Goric, but it's kind of your options there.
Anybody got a torch? I assume we all have like
Yeah,
general.
you would all have just general equipment, so I'm sure we have torches.
Could I maybe light up a torch and step ahead, waving it? Maybe do an awe check to
Yes, absolutely.
frighten them away.
So you strike up that torch, flint and steel, quickly get it going. As you hold that blazing brand aloft, the entire glade seems to fill with light, and you see their eyes, a little bit of eye shine off on the edge of the trees as they look, and they stop in their tracks and stare at this light. Go ahead and give me that awe roll. Are you waving your arms? Are you shouting?
I think I am, if feasible, using my distinctive feature of being fierce to
Yes.
sort of growl and shout at them. So I'll use a point of hope and be inspired.
Excellent. Yep. You make yourself look big and with fire.
As big as a dwarf can. Shoo, shoo!
Nice. You get a success. When you do this, 2 of the party of wolves back into the woods. They get a little bit deeper. But that alpha, he continues to watch. And you get the sense that they're starving. And he will not back down unless he's at least had a chance at feeding.
I think I throw the torch on the ground to keep the place lit and choke both my hands up on my axe, ready to roll.
Anyone have any other ideas before we jump into combat?
Take the shot.
All right, let's let me pull everybody into combat. So we will start with opening volleys, and so anyone that has a ranged weapon can take this shot. Because it's night, you're going to have a -1 penalty to it. So you'll subtract a die from the attack, and we can start with Targon. Do you have a ranged weapon?
I have a bow.
Yep, you can use your bow. So just target the wolf, and then click on your bow, and then just put a -1 penalty at the very bottom. Click one box to the left of the 0.
Let's see here. So I've selected the big wolf, and
then on your character
my
sheet,
war
click on
gear.
your bow, and then it should pull up a second window and ask you, are you spending hope, this, that. At the bottom, it'll say, bonus die, penalty die, and select the square to the left of the 0.
So it says I need to select one and only one token to attack. I thought I did that.
I think you are... Oh, no, it looks like you're not targeted the wolf right now. Click on that wolf and push T.
Oh,
there we go. Now you're targeted. Yep, perfect.
All right, it's been a while. Yep.
Ooh, you hit with your bow. Let me apply the damage. There's 3 points of damage to the wolf. And you hear the arrow thud into the hind leg of the wolf, and he lets out a little yelp, but he does not run away. Adrahil, you're up next. Do you have a ranged weapon?
Yes, I likewise knock an arrow to my bow.
No, the arrow sails off harmlessly into the darkness. You hear it clatter amongst the trees. Thaladir, have you a ranged weapon?
I do not. That's not what we do in this house. So I will equip my shield and try to move with the rest of the group into something approaching a formation so that the wolves cannot gank up on one of us.
Yeah, don't leave some straggler on the side. What about Kalanhir?
Yeah. I pull out my great bow. And so I take a penalty die.
Yep, -1 penalty.
So I might do a hope to balance it.
Not quite.
No.
How about Moriel? Moriel, look at that.
Nice.
So you get you have a keen bow, I believe. So
Yeah.
that makes that has to make a protection roll. Let me give the wolf his protection roll. He is wounded. He has might of 1. So this is something that will kill him. So how do you take out the wolf chieftain?
Nice. I think just after all of these attacks on him, I just let my arrow fly right in, and I deliver the final blow.
Nice.
Take him out.
A shot right through the lungs.
Yeah.
And he snaps and bites at the arrow the fletching is protruding from his side, and he's turning in a circle trying to bite at this stinging pain. And you see blood just gouting down across his fur onto the ground. And he lopes a few steps into the woods, crashes into some brush, and then lies still. Gorik, what about you?
Yeah, he's got a spear that we'll give a toss with.
Nice.
Let's go. Let me actually select a token that isn't dead. All right.
You'll probably hit it if it's dead.
Right. Axe in one hand as leverage, spear in the other. We toss it out into the open air.
And you see it fly through the air and land short. It actually sticks in the ground and vibrates, swaying right near the wolf. The wolf that was bitten, or excuse me, that you were targeting, will rush up in an attempt to bite. It will cover the ground, as will the other one. So now we'll go into close combat. So does anyone want to change their stance? If you want to change your stance, you can left-click your token. You'll have on the left, or excuse me, right-click your token. On the left-hand side, you'll see 2 crossed swords is close stance. The axe swing is open stance. The shield is defensive stance. And then we can have we have to have at least 2 people in close combat, which we do, and then we can have the rest in rearward if you want to still use a bow. So we'll go to Thaladir. You are up first.
Yeah, I think it's just time to end this. They didn't really have enough of us. There was not enough of them to really threaten us.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that as it is like even considering, I actually advance on it and just give a slash.
Nice. And this, in its weakened state, you easily cut this thing down. And you see from here just how thin the fur is. You can see ribs protruding up against the fur. This thing is very hungry, very skinny. Targon, you can go next.
Okay, so there's the one emaciated wolf left.
Yep.
You know, I'm using my spear. A great spear. And there's one penalty.
Yep.
On that.
Actually, no, not with the spear. If it's a ranged attack, yes.
Not with the spear.
Yeah, you're right up in this thing. Plus, we've got the torch burning on the ground. Ooh, narrowly missed. This thing is very agile. He's for sure fighting for his life. Callan, here, your turn.
And use my longsword.
Ooh, extraordinary success. You can make that the super heavy blow. That is by far going to kill it more than anything. How do you absolutely obliterate that starving wolf?
I think I would just run up on it and sort of do a little leap in the air and chop off its head.
Nice. Head comes off, the body slumps to the ground. You don't see any of the other wolves. Nothing else rushes to harry you. You've got these 3 bodies of wolves here. What do you do?
I do a scan to see if maybe the wolves that ran away are nearby, and or anything else that might have caught sight of us now that we've officially announced ourselves in these woods.
Perfect. Go ahead. Oh. At least that wasn't the Eye of Sauron. We'll take the 1 instead. In the dark, it's tough to see. You see a few tracks here and there, but it's hard to know what is freshest. Did they run off this way, or were these tracks where they've been hunting through here? You're not able to get a good look at that. Anyone else have any actions they want to undertake?
Yes, it might be good to save some of this meat. I'm sure the people of Crow Hall would be thankful for any food that we could offer them. This would likely be a great boon.
Excellent. That will avoid everyone taking a misdeed. So, you know the people are starving, and here is a supply of meat. And so you'll be able to take that back. You dress the animals.
It's a good excuse of why we went out.
Yeah, exactly. And so if they wonder, hey, why did you leave at night? You know it's dangerous. You went hunting and you brought food for Gorsad. So you dress the animals. You got them here. Take the choicest meats. Little is wasted. I'm sure the elves and the rangers would see to that. Um, when you cut them open, you see just how poor their health and nutrition has been, and their stomachs are all shrunken, and their bodies have definitely been suffering over the past, you would assume, maybe month or more. They're just living off of whatever things they can scavenge. No big game to take down. Something else has been taking all of the rabbits and boar and deer and the like. You're not able to follow that trail much further. You're welcome to continue following as long as you like, or you can head back to Crow Hall. But the trail is getting really hard to track. In fact, you might spend 20 minutes looking for one more print, and then you go in that direction and just spread out and start looking again. Might be better in the daytime. You at least have a good idea of where to start. There's tracks here. We know what they look like. If we come back in the daytime, we may have a better time of it.
Yes, in fact, as we prepare to leave, could I put a mark on a tree or something so that it's easy to find in the morning?
Yeah. How do you mark the tree?
I'd likely just place perhaps an elven symbol on there that will make it easy for us to see when we return.
And do the elves object to? Are you carving into this tree? Do the elves object to you doing that? Sounds like no objection.
No, I don't see why not. I mean,
we have the wolf carcasses here, or the bones, as a sign.
Yeah, you could.
So I don't know if we need to carve anything into a tree. If this is the spot that
area, if you
leaving the
return
trail,
here,
right?
you'd hopefully be able to follow those tracks again. This man, he must have some place he goes, whether it's a hut or a cave or something like that. It may be easier to find in the daytime. You take the journey back to Crow Hall. You've got this meat to present. As you get a little closer to Crow Hall, as you get to within just a short distance of the hall, you can hear the cry of the crows again as you approach. Clearly, they have been alerted by your presence as you get a little closer, and you see a few of the Dunlandings come out and investigate. What is that out here? Who approaches? They cry out in the darkness, and then they see you, and they see what you're carrying. Hunters, you've returned. What did you find?
some lean wolf meat.
Lean wolf meat, aye. Lean meat is all there is in these parts these days. You brought this for Gorsad to share?
Yes.
Excellent.
We have.
Excellent, wonderful. Come in. We will see that we feast your great bounty that you've brought us. You have hides and bones and the like for us as well. We use everything.
Yes, the best that we could recover.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you're brought back in through the gate, and they say you needn't sleep in the barn tonight. We'll find a place for you. Stay at my home, the guard says, and he leads you over to a humble cottage, and it's a one-room affair. He's like, it's cramped, but it's better than the barn. You're welcome to stay here if you like.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Yes, of course. You have brought...
Does the guard have a name, just out of curiosity?
Yes, so he does have a name.
Could you then type it in chat?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Banthier.
Yeah. We have not met Panther before.
No,
Or
first
we
time.
have, just in passing, perhaps.
Yeah, you probably didn't recognize him, or he didn't stand out. Just one of the guards here at Crow Hall. Most of your conversation was with Dunrock, who would be his boss, the captain of the guard here. When you come back in, it takes a while for the crows to settle down. It takes them a good half an hour before they quiet down. They're very alerted to something approaching Crow Hall. And you see what a great alarm system this is. It's just curious that it did not work a few times, which allowed the beast to gain entrance. You can go and complete your sleep. I think we've already done that from last time. We're able to remove some fatigue and whatnot. And so you wake up the next morning, and Dunrock knocks on the door. Please, I would speak with you. Gorsad wishes to see you. Please go to the hall. We're arranging a group to go out into the wild to look for the beast or to look for his son, Tuirlus. You've been invited as friends of Crow Hall. And then he steps away.
Well, thank you for this offer of friendship.
We have to decide.
Yes, friendship.
You said he stepped away?
Yep,
So
he did.
He left.
Yeah, he stepped away. He didn't even wait for a reply, just stomped off back to where he was going. It sounded like he was a little bit not thrilled that you've been invited to go out on this great hunt.
So it was not it is Gorsad who wishes to speak for us. Dunrock does not exactly care about us.
Dunrock just came to get us and tell us that Gorsad wishes to speak. But Dunrock did not seem to be overly thrilled that we've been afforded this great courtesy.
Yeah, he doesn't like us.
I'm kind of glad. I was hoping that we'd be asked to go look for his son.
Like, out of character, I am...
Well, we have to decide, which way we want to go.
What was that, Thaladin?
I think we'd be hard-pressed to deny the audience.
Yeah, that would be very rude to turn down Gorsad.
As a player, like, I am kind of...
We have...
Thaladin, go ahead.
The idea is, like, for me what to think about the... Toilas was the name of the son?
Yes.
Like, what to think of him, because we should probably try to get him into Isengard, but I'm starting to suspect that Dunbala wants to get him killed out in the hunt, so that they can take over.
So, and I think you think rightly. You've noticed that Dunrock and his sister Dunwala, they seem to not care so much for Gorsad. In fact, he took what we assume was medicine. Rather than giving it to Gorsad, Dunrock took it, and we had to heal Gorsad, and they didn't look too thrilled about that. You got the feeling, and you've expressed tonight, that maybe she controls the crows. Maybe they've sent Tuirlus off to meet his doom, and then who will lead Crow Hall? And, if something befell Gorsad, well, Dunrock is the mightiest man here, so why not Dunrock? Is the feeling that I think the assumption that you correctly make.
Yeah, this is reality. This is what I am speculating.
Yeah.
There is still the young Tiwa, and I would really like to get some talk to her.
Yeah. And we still don't know where Gleadwyn is, who is the daughter of Sigulf. We've not seen her here at Crow Hall. The only young girl that we've seen is Vila, which is the daughter of Gorsad. And so we have a couple of objectives. One is to take care of the beast. Saruman asked us to do that. He also wanted to see Tuirlus to be tutored back at Isengard. And, well, if we can... He didn't ask us to, but if this young girl is missing, Sigulf's daughter, we should try to make an effort to find her, if not rescue her if she's in danger. So Gorsad meets with us all, and he's very personable. He's still a a warrior, but he has seen better days, and his leg is feeling better. In fact, he's on his feet when we are taken in. He's walking around, pacing, making arrangements with Dunrock. There's a group of about 8 warriors there, and many of them have just had a meal that's been prepared. The finest meals go to the warriors here that are defending Crow Hall. And he says, "My friends, I have a great honor and a great task for you. Please bring me back my son, Tuirlas. I grow worried of late that some evil has befallen him. These happenings here at Crow Hall, they concern me greatly. The fact that we've been attacked not once but 3 times, and twice it's gotten within the walls. My son has not been back for quite some time, and I worry that doom has befallen him. And if such doom should befall my house, then it bodes ill for the future of Crow Hall." And he casts a look at Dunrock, and Dunrock holds his stare and doesn't look away. And you sense this little battle of wills go on for a few moments before Gorsod turns his head to us and says, "Please, go in search of my son. I appreciate the gift that you brought us last night, the gift of meat and fur. This gesture will not go unrewarded, and so I afford you this great honor, to go and find Tuirlas, to bring him back to Crow Hall. And then hopefully we can put an end to this beast. If Tuirlas has not done yet, I still have hope that he has succeeded in his mission, but if he has not, bring him here. Let us fight the beast here, not out in the wild." And Dunrock speaks a few words to the men that's with him, and they nod their heads, and he comes over to you. "You heard the boss. Let us go. We depart within the next 10 minutes. And he heads out of Crow Hall, out towards the main gate. Very few words spoken to us.
Can I ask Gorsad if he has time? If he doesn't,
Yes.
then yeah,
Oh,
I'm
he
not
has time
pressing
for
the
you,
point. What is Toirlas like? I'm like trying also to internally judge both how to persuade him, if like what kind of arguments he would listen to, and more importantly, how suitable he would be for tutoring in Isengard.
He says, my son he's a great warrior. He is a prideful boy. He believes that he has the greatest skill in all of Dunland. And he's not wrong, but he doesn't know when to recognize his own weaknesses. And a good leader must recognize their weaknesses, and as of yet he does not. And I fear that he puts his own sense of honor and achievement above the welfare of Crow Hall. I, as you know, spent time with Saruman, and I learned a great deal. I was raised to hate the Strawheads of Rohan. I now respect them. They are still our foes in all matters, but I respect them for their heritage and their history and their cunning. We are different folks, yet we are not that much different. After all, we all have the same basic needs. Saruman taught me this. I am a better man because of it. If he can teach Tuirlas this, perhaps that bodes well for the future of Crow Hall. But I fear that Saruman will have his hands full with that boy. He is a man, but he is a foolish man. I have done what I can to train him and raise him, but there's too much of Dunland in him and not enough common sense for the good of a leader. He would be a great warrior for Dunland, but a leader takes a little something different, and I fear that he does not possess that. Not yet, anyway.
Do you think it's still worth the effort for him to spend time in training with Saruman?
I do, if you can convince him to go. That will be the hard part. He's in his prime of life right now, and to ask him to go and study at the feet of an old man, well, he does enough of that here. Although
Right.
with my leg feeling better, I think I'll be able to show him more than I have in some time. But if you can convince him to go, it would be for the good of Crow Hall. If he cannot go, then perhaps Vila, my daughter, perhaps she can. One of my children should know how to lead, not just by spear and axe, but through diplomacy. The future fast approaches, and the old ways may not hold true for much longer. The world is not so wide after all.
Will that not cause a rift between your son and your daughter if you send your daughter to Isengard
Oh, surely it
to
will.
train?
It absolutely will. He will think that I have given her preferential treatment. But if he has the opportunity and were to turn it
We
down,
must be cautious.
yeah, that's his choice. But if I were just to send her, he would think I'm overstepping him. So make the offer to him.
I say we'll do our best.
Yes, if he accepts, then I would be grateful. If not, may my daughter go in his stead. You hear a horn call out in the yard, and Gorsad looks up. Dunrock is ready. He is impatient, but I've asked him to make great haste to bring Tuirlis here, so do not fault him. He is a hard man, but he is fair, and, well, he is skilled with his spear. If you run into danger, if that beast falls upon you, Dunrock will have your back. Go now, my friends, and may you go
Looking
with
to
the blessing
everybody.
of
Do
Crow
we
Hall.
accept?
I
you all
do believe
accept?
the plot demands that we do.
It does, it does.
We must accept the quest. Yep.
You could just
As
take
we,
Vila and head back to Isengard, but then there's still the matter of the beast. And do you let him know about the man you saw in the tracks that you followed last night?
I don't
Think
think that's
our
necessary right now.
objective was to find meat, right? Or hunting. Right.
Yes. And you have succeeded marvelously.
If they ask, nobody asked us really.
Yep, nobody asked. They just assumed you were out hunting.
About that. So, yep.
Well, consider Tuirlis found.
Thank you. I
We'll
know
be
that
off.
he is in good hands now.
as we're preparing to leave, could I seek to enhearten the king? Perhaps I will tell him, good king, take heart and keep your sword by your side. A good leader should always be prepared to defend his people. I will see that your son is returned to you.
Yeah, one big danger in this is that Dunrock and a lot of the warriors are leaving, and Crow Hall will be far less defended than it was when they're there. And so I think enheartening him is a great idea. Go ahead and give me an enhearten roll and add a bonus die to that. You can tell he's a little nervous. Oh, double Gandalf rune.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that is a definite success. A smile crosses his face, and he says, "Would that you were my son. Crow Hall would be in wonderful hands if you were to lead."
No, but that is not my place, good king, but I will see that your son is returned to you safely.
Thank you. You have my gratitude. Now go swiftly. Bring my boy home.
We bow in that.
He nods his head,
So
and you can tell he is
Oh.
he is very grateful for the words and the respect that you have all shown to him. When you go out into the yard, you see Dunrock and the other warriors. They're checking each other's gear, tightening straps on packs, making sure that everything is ready. And Dunrock, he gives you a little bit of a hard time when you come out. If you're done feasting with the king, we can get to work. Come now. Daylight's wasting. And the gates are opened, and the men proceed out on foot at a slow jog. They're not just walking; they're jogging. They're making haste. And this jog lasts for about a mile, and then they start to slow down. It's almost like they wanted to be seen, going out and doing these great things. And they get out about a mile from Crow Hall, and they're headed east. And you know that the tracks you followed last night kind of went south and then bent back up towards the north, but they were on the eastern side of Crow Hall, and you know that you're probably near to that. Now, Dunrock has everyone close for a while, and then he says, Why don't you take the middle? I'll send men off to the left and men off to the right. You can stay in the middle and watch over things. I'll put a few other warriors here with you. And the warriors he puts with you it's an old guy and a young boy. These aren't the best of their warriors. It's almost like he's got these people babysitting you while he sends his better warriors, on the left and right flanks. And you make a great line, and you begin to trudge through the woods, looking for tracks, looking for sign. Anything of the sort. Now, it's spread out quite a bit. The nearest person to you is probably, 10 meters, 30 feet away. But you can see down the line, you can see the next fellow and maybe the next one, and sometimes you can see more, depending on how clear the terrain is. But you've got a line there, and everyone is looking at the ground. Every now and then you see them bend over and pick up a stick and smell it, or pick up some animal droppings, or check footprints, things like that. But no one seems to come up with much effort there. Do you guys stay with the line? Do you leave and go look for the tracks you'd followed earlier?
Yeah, I think if we can do so without drawing too much attention to ourselves, I think heading back the way we know the beast went.
As you begin to head off, the old man says, Wait. Oh, where are you going?
I have a good feeling about this way.
I'll go with you. And he tells the young boy, Stay here in the line. Tell the others to reform, and we'll be back swiftly. And the old man will accompany you, unless you object.
Huh?
We're just following another lead that we see.
We
ask more about this older man and his name, and
yeah. His name is Figor, and he says, I've lived in Crow Hall all of my life.
Well met.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, well met, Figor.
Oh, well met indeed. You're the ones that brought in those wolves, eh? We've not seen animals like that around here in quite some time. Perhaps the beast is slain, perhaps Tuirla succeeded, and now the animals are coming back. That would be marvelous. I think we'll find him today. Why do you think this is such a good direction to travel in? The others, they seem to go more to the north. We're heading southeast. What's down here?
Following some tracks that we came upon.
When you were hunting the
wolves? A hunch
wolves?
that this could lead to something.
Oh, well, I'll
in this direction.
I'll try to keep up. And you see him glancing back towards the direction that you came from a few times, but he seems eager and excited to be with you. And while you're traveling over to these tracks, he talks about Crow Hall, and he talks about Gorsod and what a great leader he's been, and that he led his people through various wars with other tribes of Dunlanding men. There was even an incursion into Rohan against the Strawheads, and they raided a small community there and brought back much bounty from there. And then he grows quiet and he says, Tuirlas, he'll be he'll be a good leader. He needs humbling. It's what that boy needs, but I don't know that he's got it in him. He's taken the warrior spirit of his father, but he learned nothing from his dear mother. She passed away when he was but a boy, and she might have softened him a bit. He's like a piece of worked metal. He's sharp but brittle, and well, I only hope that he'll be half the man that his father is. If he is, we'll be just fine. Oh, look at that gut pile there. Is that your doing? And he points at the pile of entrails that you left from those wolves.
Could be.
Oh, look at this. The birds have begun to feast on this, and indeed you see crows in some of the trees. And they don't call when you approach, not like the ones at Crow Hall, but you see crows in the trees, and they're in a clearing around that gut pile and just kind of looking down at all of you, but none of them are squawking or making any sort of sound. And Figor doesn't seem to think this is odd at all. In fact, crows are such a normal part of his daily life. It's like, seeing kids around. So crows, good.
Am I able to pick up on my hunter's mark that I would have left on a tree?
Yes, without even needing to make a roll, you find it. You see the little mark you put on the tree. Rangers often use marks and symbols for others that pass through areas, and so you would instantly know where to look and what to look for. And so you would find it. You're in that area where the wolves were slain. There's tracks nearby. In fact, your mark probably says 30 paces to the left, and so you follow that mark and give me a hunting roll. Now that it's daytime, you can add a bonus die since you have found these tracks before to see if you can pick up the trail. Success. You find the tracks. Now, you find these deep, stumbling footsteps, like the ones that you saw at Sigilf's farm, which was daytime, the same ones you were following at night. You're able to track them, and these tracks lead through a small stretch of forest. And Figor says, the Forest of Eyes. Look, they go up into the hills. Look at that over there. And he points up into the hills, and you see a small cave not far from there. Tracks seem to lead in that direction up to the cave.
Yes, perhaps this is where our quarry yet lies.
By the way, throughout all of this, Saladir is kinda in the back, not paying that much attention because he's studying his book on persuasion to figure out some arguments for Toilas.
Yeah,
who
it's
is
going to come
kinda
to
martial and proud.
Excellent. Yeah, you're
Figor.
thinking, like, how am I going to reach this guy? And you know that it's going to take a well-crafted argument. Sorry, Ubik, go ahead.
I was saying, because I don't know, I'm not something. I can't put my finger on it. There's something suspicious about Figor, and so I'm asking him, like, have you been to these woods before?
You could give me
have you been to this part of the woods before? Because you seem to know about the cave up there. It just seems.
He looks and says, the Forest of Eyes, I've come here many times. The hunting used to be great in this area. Deer and boar and rabbit and anything that you might wish to roast over a fire you'd find here. But it was said that you had to step cautiously. It's called the Forest of Eyes because there's always something watching you. Well, I think we're in luck. These crows here, they're the eyes for us today.
Oh, what else might there be?
Well, there was a legend long ago that there was a woman who she lost her life in a terrible fire, and it is said that her husband brought her ashes up here to the Forest of Eyes and buried her, and that at night you could hear her singing. And she would sing melancholy songs about the history of these lands, of her dear husband, of his exploits, of her sadness and grief, and it enchanted many a man to wander into that forest, and, well, said they were never seen from again, but I never knew anyone that this happened to. I think it's something they tell us as children to keep us from wandering off. I'm not afraid to go in there. I'll go wherever you go, brave elf.
Do you know her name?
Well, she had a name, but we don't know her as such. We only know her as the Shade of Dunland.
Huh. Gulp.
But it's said that she is beautiful. She plays a harp made of wood, and the strings are strands of her hair.
Yeah. Now,
I'm wondering
Kalan
if
here's
there's
wondering if we
more
already
lore
met
here
this
to
person.
help us.
Yeah, you met someone on the road, that a beautiful woman that sang you a song of Helm, Hammerhand, and Wolf. And then she was gone the next morning.
Yeah.
Could it be that you have met the Shade of Dunland?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking right now. Sorry, did you tell me to make a roll at some point?
Yeah, give me an insight roll as you
Okay.
are probing Figor with these
yeah.
questions, trying to determine, what sort of
Yeah,
person he is.
bad at that. Nothing.
Yeah, he's clearly excited to be with you. If he's been sent to keep an eye on you, you would probably suspect that's the case. They sent the
Right.
old guy. He's not going to be much use in the fight, but he can at least keep an eye on this lot, make sure they're not up to no good. And if they find Tuwirlis, probably to make sure that they don't kill him. Make sure that he brokers a peace between Tuwirlis and you guys, because Tuwirlis has no idea who you are. You may come and say, "Hey, I'm here from your father," but if you don't have a token or something to show him, he may not believe that. And so
Right.
you think he's probably just there to serve as an intermediary. But
Makes
he
sense.
he sees the cave and says, "Do you think the Shade's in the cave? I'll go in there if you will, elf. I've always wanted to see her. I'm an old man now. I don't have many summers left. Let this be the summer that I hear the call of the Shade."
Well, I think we might have to go in there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks
Head that
over
way.
Cautiously.
at Goric and says, "Hey, dwarf, I bet you'd like to see the inside of that cave, wouldn't you? It ain't worked stone, but I'm sure it'd make you feel like you're home, eh?"
You know, a good dwarf loves a good cave.
"Yes, I've not met many of your kind, but they speak often of the caves, of the mines that they run, the iron that comes out, and more precious metals indeed. If we can't eat it, we have little use for it, but in good times, and we have plenty, we do try to stock up on coin for trading with some of the folk that pass by Crow Hall." And he looks around. "Well, who wants to go in there? I'm game."
Perhaps one of us should go first.
"Oh,
Goric kind of steps up, volunteering himself with that.
I'll go with you, dwarf. Do you need a torch, or can your eyes see in the dark, as the rumors say?"
I have the torch I need.
"Oh, good. Come, let us go." And Figor
I think
beckons you to
we
climb
want to
up
give
to the
Goric
cave.
a signal to be cautious.
Does anyone go with Figor and Goric?
Yeah, Clan Hero will go.
Adrahil will also join them.
All right, Goric, Kalanhir, and Adrahil, along with
Be
Figor.
cautious.
Yeah, you guys. The rest of you probably stay back and watch. Like, if this, something happens, we're gonna go help him. But it'd be bad if we all get in there and he trapped us in the
Safe
cave or something,
entrance.
pushes us into a pit. As you get close, let me have Kalan here. Excuse me, Goric. Give me a scan roll as you get close to the mouth of the cave. You get up there, and this is definitely not a cave that has been worked. You don't see any chisel mark or anything on that. This is not something that a person or a dwarf would likely inhabit. This is more like a cave an animal would go into. Even looking out at the front, you see that they've not made the path easy to get in and out. It's not just a smooth trail leading in, but there's rocks, rough and tumble, and you have to climb over some to get into the cave. And you think, oh, I could fix this quite easily, but that's a job for another time. And as you get close, let me have Kalan here and Adrahil give me an awareness roll. Ooh, Adrahil. You spot movement up above the cave. So the cave is in a large cleft between rocks, and up at the top there's a little bit of dirt and grass that hangs over maybe 10 feet, 3 meters up. And then you can see trees and tree roots, and up there you see a little bit of movement and some dirt and small pebbles cascade down. And you get the feeling there's someone up there.
So I imagine that we're traveling perhaps 2 by 2, perhaps Ulrich and Figor in the front, then Adrahil and Callan here in the back. So perhaps Adrahil will quietly alert Callan here. Perhaps he might be able to see something with his keen vision.
Callan here, as you look up, you're staring up there. And Adrahil, you look back and you see the rest of the party. You see Targon and Moriel and Thaladir are they're a ways back. And the three of you see this without even having to make a roll. Those that are closer to the cave, you won't see it because of the perspective. But up on top of that, in amongst those trees, the three of you see a figure. And this looks like a very large man, broad-shouldered, bare-chested, wearing rags around his waist, scraggly beard, dirty. He's got leaves in his hair. His eyes are wide, and he's crouched down, kind of like Gollum, over the edge of the thing, looking down at these people coming into the cave. And that's where we're going to take our break. Let's come back in about 8 minutes, and we will pick it up from there. So I'll see you all in 8 minutes.
locate them there. But it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth. Bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in a battle, you win foes asunder. Deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a immutable caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. No. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down. The DM will bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a naval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. The king he honored me with a mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
Okay, I am back. Go ahead and sound off if you're here, so I know we're all back.
I'm here.
Hello, hello,
Here.
hello. There's 3 of us. Well, 4. Miss Pick is sitting next to me, so there's 4 of us. I hear Michael shuffling, and Ardanian
Back.
yawning because it's like 4 a.m. where he's at.
I tend to mute myself when yawning, but otherwise, yes.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. Because it's highly addictive. It'll make me yawn as well. Let's jump back into the game. So where we left off before the break is we've got we're out here at this cave, and 3 of us, including Figor, Gorik, and Adrahil, and Kalanhir, are headed into the cave, and they're looking up because they think there's something up there. They don't see it, but the other 3 do. You see this large, savage-looking man, all but naked, a few scant rags clinging to his clothes, wild hair and beard, a wild look on his face, and he's looking down intently at the people headed up to the cave. Those of you standing back, which is Thaladir, Moriel, and Targon, what do the 3 of you do? Do you shout anything, a warning, or fire an arrow?
Maybe shout a warning.
Yeah, if you were to fire an arrow, that's probably a misdeed, because this person hasn't done anything to hurt you, and if you just go up and shoot him, that might count as a misdeed. So probably shouting a warning might be better. What do you call out?
And maybe even
Well, we
what
could
language do you call
address
out?
and hurt. Yeah, do we just comment on who goes there? Something to that effect.
Yeah. Or do you want to do Elvish, Thaladir? Do you want to shout out something in Elvish that they might not recognize? Assuming it's not an elf. With common tongue, you shout out, who goes there? And you see the figure up top stand up, and he's got to be near 2 meters tall, just 6'2" or 3, very tall, broad-shouldered fellow. And as he stands, you see his body is crisscrossed with scars here and there, as though he has seen battle. And he stands and looks, and then he crouches as he turns and begins to retreat into the trees. He's not running. He's moving slowly but cautiously. You get the sense he's curious, more than frightened, but trying to hide, thinking maybe you just, you didn't see him, but you saw something, and so he's trying to get a more hidden position. Now, the 3 of you going up to the cave, you hear this shout of warning behind you, and Adrahil, you're already aware that you think there's something up there, and Kalan here as well. And Figor lets out a shriek. Ah! What did you see? What did you see? Was it the shade? And you see him trembling with fear. He was all brave, but now he's all bluster, now that you're up near the cave and someone has shouted a warning.
No, worry not, Figo. I believe it was simply some animal of the forest.
Yeah, that was no shade.
The figure up there that's crouched in the trees begins to slowly move laterally, and he's starting to descend down the hillside. You can follow him. He's not very well hidden. He's kind of standing behind trees and brush, but he's so big you can't miss him. And he moves down to where he's maybe about 30 paces away from Gorik and Figor, near the mouth of the cave, and he's watching intently. And then he opens his mouth as though to speak, and then he clamps his hands over his mouth, and he has a look of almost a wild animal or a frightened animal. And Kalan here, you and Adrahil can see him now as he's getting lower. You see him looking directly at Figor and Gorik.
Does he look like a Bjorning?
Give me an insight roll. It's always nice when people are like, not that skill. I'm good at combat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A 10 is really good. So it's almost a Gandalf rune. It's not a success. Have you ever seen a Bjorning? You are long-lived, so perhaps you have. Yeah, you think this is probably a Bjorning. Maybe you've only read about them or heard about them, but man, this fits the description. Do you know, are Bjornings, with your insight, maybe you don't know, but would you guess, is this a violent sort of person, or maybe a frightened? It looks maybe frightened. It doesn't look overly violent.
I mean, it sounds like he looks like he's seen a lot of combat or a lot of fighting, but that doesn't necessarily mean he initiated it. So it's hard to say.
You get the sense that
he
he still
hasn't
thinks
attacked us.
he's hidden. Yeah, he hasn't attacked. He's kind of crouched down. He's looking intently, and maybe it's because you're getting close to his cave. He's like, why are they going into my cave? I need to protect my stuff, but he's almost afraid to come out. Maybe because there's so many of you, or maybe he's starving as well. Maybe he's hungry.
I'd call out, do you speak? Can you speak?
He crouches among the stones like a wounded animal, and at first glance he scarcely looks human. He's filthy, hollow-eyed, wrapped in rags stiff with mud and what's maybe old blood. His beard hangs in tangled knots, and his hands tremble constantly, clutching at the air as though still reaching for something lost. And you hear crows begin to circle overhead, and he startles violently and says, "No! No more crows! Keep them back!" And his eyes dart wildly from face to face before settling at last upon Kalanhir. And recognition flickers on his face, not of who you are, but of what you're not. You're not raiders. You're not enemies. And slowly, painfully, the words begin to spill out of him. "Sigulf! Good man! Sigulf was. Hard man, aye, but good. He fed folk when winter bit deep, shared bread when there were none that would. He gave me work. He kept me alive. I watched the sheep. I hunted. I helped Sigulf. He was the first to treat me like I was truly welcome. He was my friend, and that was my home." And he stares down at his shaking hands. "The men came from Dunland," and he points at Figor. "Lean men, hungry men, like wolves come down from the hills." And he glances toward the horizon as though expecting to see them still. "Too many men, spears and axes, crow feathers in their hair." And at the mention of the feathers, his breathing quickens. "The young one led them, black hair, crow feathers woven through it, eyes like iron." And he clenches his jaw. "At first, they only wanted sheep. Sigulf would have yielded some. Better sheep than blood. But then he saw her. Gleadwyn." And the name is spoken softly, almost reverently. "Sigulf's daughter came from the house, and the crow man looked upon her. And that was the end of peace." And he shuts his eyes tightly as if trying not to see the memory. "Sigulf stood in the doorway, axe in hand. Wouldn't let them take her. He wouldn't bend. He fought. The crow man killed him there, on his own doorstep. I was in the hills, hunting for supper. Sigulf sent me away an hour before the fighting started. I came back just in time to see. I was too late." And his hands began to tremble. The house burning, bodies in the yard, crows everywhere. Always crows, always watching. They took Gleadwyn. They took the sheep, too. They went north." And then he looks up sharply with wild purpose blazing through his madness. "I followed them, days and days, maybe longer. I didn't sleep much. I didn't eat." And he taps the side of his head frantically. "I lost the trail in the hills. Stones and rain washed it away. But the crows knew." And a crooked grin spreads across his face. "They flew north. So I followed them to Crow Hall, and his expression darkens into hatred. The crow-haired bastard is there, I know it. I'll cut his throat. I'll split him open. I'll bring Gladwin home. And then he begins to sob into his hands.
Right, Sigurd was the owner of the farm, right? Do I remember correctly?
Yep, Sigurd, that was the farm that we came across. And that was where we first saw these tracks, was at that farm.
I'm gonna turn to Figor and be like, Did you know about this? What he's talking about?
He holds out both of his hands like, this is the way of Crow Hall. We are raiders. We are reavers. I was not party to this, but I can confirm that sheep were brought back. I know of no girl. The man he describes, crow feathers, black hair, that's Tuirlas. That's Gorsad's son. And he looks at this man and says, Man, I am sorry for the grief that has befallen you. Our ways are hard, our people are hard, but there is no call for wanton slaughter. We could have simply taken the flock. We should have simply taken the flock. There was no need to kill your friend. No need for what happened to his daughter. And then he turns and looks at you. She is not at Crow Hall. If she is alive, she is with Tuirlas. And you see Figor take a few steps back, as though he feels a sense of perhaps shame over what Tuirlas has brought upon Sigulf's family and this man here.
Did this wildman say his name?
He did not, but if you ask him, he will tell you. And he struggles for a moment, and then he says, Seppa. Seppa is what Sigulf called me. I do not remember the name I was born with. I have forgotten much in my life. But Sigulf, he cared for me. Named me Seppa. It means something in their language. And Figor looks at all of you gathered around and whispers, It means bear.
Well, Seppa, perhaps you would help us. We seek Tuirlas ourselves. We are hunting him, and we cannot find him. But perhaps you might help us.
I will help you.
Does Seppa have any kind of weapon on him or anything that would suggest he had hunting gear if he was sent out hunting?
No. In fact, it looks like he has traveled hard for so long. He has worn, basically, his clothes have become rags, tattered, as he runs through through branches and hedges, and if he had a bow, it's likely been lost or gone. You get the sense he's not exactly sane. It's likely he just, in his rage, has kind of fallen more into his the shape-shifting aspect, and maybe his humanity has fled him somewhat. And any weapons he might have had is likely discarded. Maybe he's looking at his hands and his nails, and they look like they're crusted with mud and blood. He's likely been using his hands as weapons.
I can't remember.
Offer him some food,
which he will ravenously consume. He will fall upon that like
some small provisions.
Yeah, like just, without a second thought, he'll rush up and grab it and just start shoving it in his mouth.
Because I think looking at him, we believe him. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's
deceitful
no
about him.
reason for
he's
you to
telling the
think
truth.
he's speaking falsely.
Yeah.
And Adderhill, you knew Sigulf. You didn't know Seppa, but you did know that he often had people that would work for him. And maybe you've seen a few come and go. But it's been probably 10 years since you've been at Sigulf's farm. And so Seppa likely is a new hand there. You don't recognize him from your previous time at the farm.
Well, yes, Seppa, I too knew Sigulf. He was a friend to me. I too would see that his daughter has returned safely and is not harmed. I believe the Tuwirlus, he's the son of the king of Crow Hall, and I'm sure his father is a better man than he, a more just man, and he would see punishment doled out, and I believe that you can find justice in the misdeeds that have been done to you.
Justice? There is no justice, but that which we make for ourselves. Tuwirlus. And he says the name as though he is speaking a curse. Tuwirlus. Yes. Yes. We hunt. Now. And he hands back the portion of food that he hasn't been able to consume. And he gets up and sniffs the air and looks around. They are north. I can smell them from here. And he looks at Figor and says, "What do you know?" And Figor takes a step back and says, I am old. I am not a warrior. I know nothing of Tuwirlus other than he raids and he hunts and he is impetuous. And Seppa says to Figor, "Your scent will show us the way." And he steps close and begins to paw at Figor, pressing up into his hands up into his hair, sniffing his hair, smelling his clothes. And then Seppa turns to the wind, moving his head back and forth. "Come, I have them." And he begins to lope off into the woods.
Yeah, I think we're following that guy.
Yeah.
I'm neither as a player nor as a player character. I would probably know if Beornings can do something like this, and if there is a chance he is really transforming into something and doesn't realize it.
Yeah, but you've probably never seen it, but you've heard tales, I'm sure. And you get the sense that he is almost as much animal as he is man right now, and his mind is likely torn between those two worlds. And he takes an almost direct course. Yeah, anyone object to following Seppa?
I'm a bit concerned. I think we have to follow him because, but I think we're going to be in some conflict once we find the son. So.
Yeah, if Tuwirlus finds him, Tuwirlus will probably kill him. And if you want to have any justice for Sigurd, you need Seppa alive to testify.
Yes. So it kind of changes our mission. We need to protect that.
And just to be clear, did Seppa got back to the farm after the massacre had happened? Did he find Sigulf kind of on his deathbed recounting what had happened so that he knows for sure it was this guy?
You get the impression that as he was coming back, he probably saw this happening from a distance. And as he was rushing back to get to the farm, he probably saw Sigulf and his wife get killed, and he saw Gladwyn being led out. He was close enough to be able to see this, Tuwirlus, if it is indeed Tuwirlus, to see this warrior that took Gladwyn with him and took the sheep. And by the time he was able to get down there, Sigulf was already gone. And so he began to pursue, likely in some sort of bestial rage. Maybe he couldn't control it. And stormed off up into the hills to basically stalk them. But then over time he lost the trail and just arriving at Crow Hall, the same day that we did, just a few hours later, standing there at the fence, probably looking for Tuwirlus, and then we chased him away, and now he's found us.
And do we come to a consensus on whether this is the beast that Saruman has sent us to find or take care of?
So, if you
because if so, then that changes our mission.
Yeah, and if you put the timeline together, so Tuwirlus was he was at Crow Hall when the first attack happened, and it was just outside the gates. And then Tuwirlus was there when the second attack happened, which got inside the gates and killed half the sheep. And so that's when Tuirlis left to go and try to find the beast, and presumably that's when he went down to Sigilf's farm. So it sounds like the beast has been causing trouble here before he went to Sigilf's farm. So this could be the beast. Maybe Seppa has, maybe he's lying. Maybe he's the beast that's tormenting Crow Hall, or maybe he's just another beast that is easy to blame for what has happened. But according to the timeline of what he told you and what you've been told by Gorsod, the timeline is different, and so it's likely that there is a different beast harrying here. It's a pity you can't ask Sigilf, because he could say, yeah, he's been here the whole time. So you really don't know for sure.
Actually, I am pondering.
Right.
We have the option to
curious.
try a. Sorry,
Go
may
ahead.
I? We have the option for Saruman magical success on the riddle roll.
Absolutely, yes, we do. So that
I'm not saying we
would
should
probably
take it.
give us the answer to that question. So do we want to spend a fellowship point on that?
Who is strong on riddle?
So whoever can
I
roll the
say
most
yes.
sixes on that, you might get a great success or an extraordinary success. If you do a magical success, it's automatically going to pass. But yeah, who has the best riddle? Who has the most diamonds in riddle?
I've got 2.
Anyone have more than 2?
But favored.
I think 2 is going to be it. If you want to roll that, we will ignore what the feat die says. We're just looking for extra 6s.
Cool. And I will use a point of hope for
Nice.
that.
So it's going to be a great success, because we got the 1/6 there. A magic success is going to raise the eye awareness. What do you do? What is the magical effect that others might perceive as you use the will of Saruman to decipher, is this the beast of Dunland?
Think I'm trying to piece all the pieces of the puzzle together. I maybe get on the ground and start drawing in the dirt kind of a timeline of events, and maybe as I'm drawing it, the figures and runes I'm drawing in the ground begin to almost shift and move and tell the story as I'm recounting what we've been told and kind of imagining how things played out.
Yeah, and as you watch this, you see those figures almost coming to life as they're moving and shifting in the dirt, and you see, a building, and there's a little crow on top of it, and there's another building that's a farm, and you see a sheep near that. This is Crow Hall, this is Sigilf's farm, and you see a beast prowling around the farm. At the same time, you see Seppa there helping out. You see a bow, a man wielding a bow near the farm, and you see them slowly come together. But when they come together, the beast has already left Crow Hall, and Seppa is moving towards. You think these are 2 separate things. These are 2 beasts in Dunland. One that is laying waste to Crow Hall, and one that seeks to lay waste to Crow Hall. But these are 2 different beasts.
Okay.
Interesting.
Do you ask Seppa about this, about the beast? Would he know about it? I mean, he's been living in these woods for a while. Maybe he knows something.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's not him, is it still somebody we know and have already met? Like, is it Dunwalla, or is it her brother, or
To me, it still can be just some giant dragon or lizard
Magical
or
beast.
Yeah.
God knows what.
Another Bjorning.
We haven't noticed any
Well, we can
kind
ask
of
Seppa.
monstrous tracks.
No monstrous tracks at all.
No.
Even around Crow Hall, they've said, there's no tracks. They simply go as though they're moving after a ghost. And Seppa clearly leaves tracks.
Could be a magical being. No tracks.
Do we think that it could be the shade of Dunland, perhaps?
No tracks. That would make me think it flies.
Not impossible. It could be a spirit.
Yeah. Well, Seppa has left, right?
Yeah,
Is
Seppa
now
is
down the
he
trail.
is not going to
Is
stop.
that
He's
correct?
heading on. He's on the hunt. He's on the scent. You
So,
could catch up to him and
we
ask
should
him
be following.
questions. He may speak from time to time. A lot of it may be rambling, but he does have moments of lucidity. He travels for about 2.5 hours, and quickly he finds, or you see up ahead smoke from a campfire, and you can see it up through the trees, and you can smell it as well. It's on the wind, and as it gets closer and closer, you see Seppa. He's beginning to pant, and he's been basically running for 2 hours. He's slick with sweat, but he's beginning to pant, and almost a deep growl in his chest, a rumble in his chest, as though he senses that he is close to his quarry. He looks back and he sees all of you following, and he points up ahead and says, I smell them. I smell her, Gleadwin. She's at that camp.
What time of day is it?
It is
I think.
getting late. Yeah, it's probably like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. You've got maybe 4 more hours of sunlight left.
I don't think we want Seppa bounding in there. So we might ask him to hold back. And I think we have some questions for him too. Need to think of a plan.
He stops and he gets down on his haunches. He's kind of squatted on the ground. He's got his hands pressed onto the ground, and his shoulders are just massive from here. He's breathing heavily as he looks at you, and you can see in his eyes this wild look that you saw in those wolves as well. This is he's hungry, and perhaps not for food, but for his quarry. And he says, how do we take them and get her back safely? Leave the one with the crow feathers to me. I'll rend him to pieces with my bare hands, if I must.
I feel like we kind of need him alive.
You know, Saruman was like
We
him
have our
alive.
original mission,
Yep.
right? And also the king would prefer, or
Yes, Seppa, I cannot have you killing Tuirlis. I gave the king my word that I would see him return safely. Though he may be responsible for these misdeeds, he will pay for them. I know this to be true, but you cannot kill him here.
Give me a roll. Now, I'm inclined to make it persuade, but because of the way you just worded that, I will let you choose enhearten. Because you still make it sound like there will be justice.
Can I use my honorable feature to become inspired?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, yep, you got it. Seppa begins to paw at the ground with his hand. He's picking up twigs and stones and scraping some away, and begins to dig with his hands. And you sense it's just maybe nervous or excited energy. He's got, you know, this thrill in him, ready to make a kill, and he's trying to calm it down. And your words, you mention justice and honor, and he looks at you and says, "Aye, Sigulf would want that. He would want this done right. He would demand justice. Justice from those that did this, not just death." I don't think I can go face him without losing control.
No, I wouldn't ask that of you. I understand, and you should stay here. It would be better for you, and I assure you, you will receive your justice, Seppa.
Leave me here with the Old One. I will wait here until you return. And Figor's like, what? No.
I think that's a good idea. So, if you can keep watch from above in case anything happens, be ready, but please hold back.
Well, I can do this, but my friends, no harm can befall Tuirlis. You understand this. Whatever this man's issue, it needs to be brought before Gorsad, not settled out here in the woods. Gorsad is
Understood.
wise, and he is just. And Figor will pull out a small knife, and he just holds it in his hand. He's like, I'll be okay. And he begins to carve at a small piece of wood he finds on the ground, whittling away with this knife with his own nervous energy, while Seppa sits and digs and paws at the earth. When you head towards the campsite, you see a dozen warriors, as well as one in particular. Let me grab him. Here's his picture. He's got black hair. He's got crow feathers tied into his hair, carrying a sword. This must be Tuirlis. He has a scar on his face as well. And he is sitting with his men, and they're drinking from wineskins. There is some game on a spit roasting over the fire. It looks like some sort of animal, small, that they've found. Perhaps a deer or something that they've been able to bring down. And they are boasting about their exploits. And you can hear Tuirlis as you approach. And he's saying, "Aye, that farm. We'll find many more like that, lads. Many more. We'll make ourselves fat off all these from whom we take. We take what we want. We are men of Crow Hall." And the men begin to shout and cheer. And then you hear someone say, "Quiet, someone approaches." And all eyes instantly begin scanning the woods. Who goes into the campsite first?
Do we see Gleodwyn anywhere?
Ooh, give me a scan roll. Oh, Gandalf rune. Absolutely you do. She is, you see a young girl of maybe 12 or 13 years of age, and she is seated on a bench near a tent, and she's got her arms kind of wrapped around herself. She's holding herself as though she's either cold or frightened, and she's just rocking back and forth gently. Now, you don't know what Gleodwyn looks like, but you would expect that, this is a war party. Why would they bring a little girl? This has got to be her.
And it's daylight, and we are approaching this camp. They
would see you from far off. And Tuirlis stands up and says, "Strangers, skulking in the woods, you approach the camp of Tuirlis, heir of the king and chief of Crow Hall. Speak your name and purpose."
We come from Crow Hall in search of Tuirlis, son of the chieftain?
Yep, the chieftain.
Was he?
You have found him.
Yeah.
If you come from my father's table, You may come and share mine. Tell me, how fares my father? How fares Crow Hall?
Would be better should you return with us.
I'm on my way back to Crow Hall, but my tiresome father will begin to whine about wise rulership and his sore feet. I have many farms to raid while I am out about my father's errands. He sent me on a quest to prove my valor, and I shall return with as much treasure as we can carry. And his men all nod in the affirmative. Come, sit by my campfire. Share tales with the warriors.
What exactly did this quest entail?
From my father, he sent me off on some fool's errand to chase after a beast that was said to harry the people. I know of no such beast. There are no tracks. There is nothing. Simply sent me away so that I could return triumphant. And when I do so, I will take ownership of Crow Hall. And his men all began to cheer and raise their wineskins. You speak to no whelp of a chief. I have conquered farms, fourgoyle riders. I have seduced young maidens. Why, this one here begged me to carry her away to my castle in the hills, and he points at Gleadwin.
Is that so? Is this
Yeah.
true, young lady?
And she looks up at you and quickly looks back down at the ground. And Tuirlis looks and says, Do not speak to her. She will not speak to me until we are wed. No, she does as she is told. Don't you? And he turns back and she is just looking down at the ground. You must understand that Crow Hall is invulnerable. Maybe something crept in once, but I chased it into the mountains. It'll never return.
Surely you have proven your valor so much as you can and are ready to return home.
Ah, yes, you speak wisely. I suppose we could
And this was
go
your
back
father,
to my father.
your father's wish.
Is he well, or is he still weak in his present state?
He's better than ever, actually.
What? How is this so? I was told... What do you mean better than ever?
One of my companions here was able to heal whatever it was that was ailing him.
Is that right?
His malady.
Well, regrettable.
He is in good spirits and is eager to see you.
I'm overjoyed that my father is well. And you get the sense that he's not overjoyed at all. He almost is a little bit perturbed that his father is allegedly healed.
Have you seen what's his name?
Dunrock?
Dunrock. He was supposed to be out here looking for you as well.
Yes, he came straight to me. We spoke briefly, and then I sent him on an errand. His sister was here as well. And the two of them have traveled north. There's an old hall there, a building called the Aord Skrafa, place of old heroes.
Huh.
What is their business up there?
They told me they went there to make me a king.
Is that what you want?
That is my destiny. That is what I want.
And surely your father would be pleased to hear of this. Come, travel with us.
It will take a persuade roll.
One part of me wants to say that last year, I think Taladir was actually fighting off bandits in the north from exactly a similar farm, though maybe better protected, led by a guy called himself Gandalf.
You
So
were
I'm like,
kings of the kingdoms.
So I'm like, it's great that we meet on this joyous occasion on this very fine day. Imagine if we met like 4 days ago and I would not recognize a noble prince saving his kin from starvation from a common bandit. Okay, I should not probably say that, but
well, he would puff his chest out when you said that.
but I would definitely make very, very unpleasant remarks. Okay, persuade roll for him to come with us.
Yep.
We have been told he is kind of strong-headed, and
Yes.
we can probably also tell he is that. Actually, my own character is as a distinctive feature is also proud. So I can get his idea of trying to bring all the glory possible to himself, but there is respectable say that this is. I'm not saying barren land, but there is not that many farms here to plunder, and he's gonna get what? More sheep, more worn clothing. Like there isn't that much loot to be made here.
Right.
The Forgill riders, well, horse lords, whatever you call them, they are also kind of further west from here. There's not that much for him to be done there. So
no, he's picking on farms basically.
Yeah, but there aren't that many here. So if there is any monsters and we have a reasonable suspicion that there is one, outside of that monster there isn't really anything for him to do. So having the glory is useless if he can't share it, tell others about his awesomeness. So that's why he should go to Crowhall to report on how great he was.
Ooh, I like that. Very good. Add a bonus die to that persuade roll.
Yeah, that's why I also claimed the bonus die that I could actually consult my useful item for the manual on persuasion.
I like that. Yeah, you've been preparing for this.
Yes.
Oh, with a Gandalf rune. You get it. An automatic success. You speak wisdom. Yes, let us return to my father. I had hoped that I would be in a position to step into his role as leader of Crow Hall. I had feared his illness would prove fatal, but it seems as though he has recovered, and, well, I will be overjoyed to see him, won't we, lads? And the men all begin to laugh, as though there's some inside joke. Yes. Let us go and get Dunrock and Dunwalla, and we shall return triumphant together. What do you say?
I fear there is still this matter of the monster. And also out of character, I'm not sure if we should be trying to look for it, or we just return with Thoirlas.
I get the feeling the monster isn't the monster we're led to believe it is. Out of character.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems like the Beorning is an easy pin to blame, but seems like we haven't seen any monster tracks that lead us to believe that there is truly a monster making its way in and out, and then the crow alarm not going off is a little suspicious. Kind of feels like there's some
mirrors here,
conspiracy going on.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Let us go get Dunrock and Dunwalla. I will send a runner. I know where they are. Come, sit around the fire. Let us tell tales of adventure.
Would it not be better to allow Dunrock and his sister to complete the mission you sent them on, and they can catch up with us later?
Yes. Yes, this is wisdom. My first idea to go and retrieve them was merely a ruse to see if you felt I was not in a position of leadership, and clearly you do, you feel as though I am ready to take over control of Crow Hall. So be it. Yes. We will
Yes,
go.
you've shown as much with the farms you've taken over.
Yes, I have. Oh, they cry when they bleed, most of these so-called brave men. But that's why they farm, why they're not warriors. They're not cut out for this sort of work. You put a sword in a man's hand that's used to plowing fields. He doesn't know how to use it. I've never plowed a field in my life. I harvest from those who do the scrabble work in the dirt. That is the way of Dunland.
Then shall we be off?
Yes. We shall arrive at night. They will think it is the great beast approaching. But when I make my triumphant return, they will see it is not the beast, but the future of Crow Hall. Come, let us go, quickly. And they begin to pack up their camp, while there's still a few hours of daylight left. Now, there's the matter of Seppa. What do you guys do with Seppa?
Someone should probably run back and tell him to get out of sight. We also got Figor
Igor. Yeah.
to contend with.
Adrahil will offer to go and speak with Seppa.
Adrahil, when you get back there, you see Seppa and Figor. They're sitting further apart than when you left them. And Figor is holding his knife in a trembling hand. And he says, not one inch closer. You stay back, you hear me? And he sees you approach. Oh, thank goodness. This one here, he's threatened to kill me. Threatened to eat me, he has. He says you're wasting your time.
Yes, Figor, the Tuwirlis and his hunting party are making for Crow Hall. You should go and join them. I will see that Seppa is dealt with.
Yes. Good. And he gets up and runs as fast as his old legs will carry him into the campsite. And Seppa looks up at you and says, well,
Yes, Seppa,
what have you decided?
We have convinced Tuwirlis that it is right to return to Crow Hall, and I am sure that when we get there that the king will see justice done. He is a wise man, wiser than most in these lands, and perhaps if you are to make your way there, I suggest you do so without alerting the others, as they would likely see you as this beast that's been spoken of, but perhaps if you arrive at nightfall, I can vouch for you, and I'm sure that the king will see you welcomed into the gates without harm.
He looks at you with a look of confusion. This doesn't make sense. Have they beguiled you? Has that woman cast a spell on you?
No, I'm under no spell but my own.
You told me there would be justice. When?
I believe there is to be justice very soon. We make for Crow Hall as we speak, and as I have said, I know the king to be a wiser and more just man than his son, and we will see that that wrongs are made right.
Just tell me this: was Gladwin, was she in the camp?
Yes, she was alive, perhaps a bit frightened, but she's alive, and I believe unharmed, and we will see that she is made safe when we return to Crow Hall.
You hear a growling sound deep in his chest. I do not like this.
You like it no more than I, but unfortunately this is the matter of things, but perhaps if we act now, we can see a just resolution to this.
You were friend of Sigulf, yes?
Yes, I stayed on his farm on several occasions. I knew him well.
What would Sigulf have done?
Well, you answered that question yourself. You spoke of Sigilf as though he were a just man, and I think that though justice can be difficult to obtain at times, that it will be done, and that perhaps if we are patient and wait our time, that we can see that it is served to those who have wronged.
Give me an enhearten roll, please.
Can I use honorable again as I seek
Yep.
to fill all my promises?
Absolutely. Nice. A great success. Seppa agrees. He says, I will do as Sigulf would have done. But if any harm befalls Gleadwin, my oath is to her, not to you. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. I'm thankful that you're willing to cooperate.
I will make haste to Crow Hall. I will trail your group. If I hear so much as a cry from her lips, I will fall upon them and kill them all.
Yes, I understand, and I will take responsibility for this, and I hope that we can see a just resolution.
Seppa begins to pace towards Crow Hall, and he will keep his distance. Close enough he can hear, but not so close that he will be seen. And he will move silently, trailing the company as it heads back. By the time you return, the camp has been all but packed up, and you notice that Gladwyn's hands are bound. Not tightly. She's not uncomfortable, but she's got a small rope binding her hands and a lead, and one of the warriors is carrying that lead so that she can't run away. And Twirla says, it's for her own good. She's an active young girl. You know how they are. We can't have her wandering off and losing time. And about... sorry, go ahead.
I wonder, would it be a misdeed if I were to let them stay imprisoned? I almost feel like that would be going against Hill's
that's why I bring it up.
I will stop Twirless and say, Twirless, I would ask that you free her, as that is not right. I will keep an eye on them. I won't let them run, but it is not right that you have them imprisoned as such.
I make the choice whether she is imprisoned or not. And I choose to cut her bonds. Yes, cut her bonds. Show her that her future with me will be a pleasant one. And her bonds are cut. About an hour into the journey back to Crow Hall, the sun is beginning to set, and you begin to hear the chatter of crows.
Can I actually ask something before we enter?
Yep.
Toilas mentioned the place called Eordsgrafa.
Yes.
That doesn't sound Sindar or Westron to me. I guess it's Dunland
Yep.
but has any one of us heard about this sort of
You
place?
give me a lore roll to see if you've heard of Eordsgrafa.
Don't think I am that smart, but let's try it. No.
Ooh, with an Eye of Sauron, that's going to raise the eye awareness. You have no idea. You know that the hills of Dunland, there's ancient works of stone. It said that giants made them, or men out of the west in the elder days of the world, but you have no idea what that place could be.
Can anyone try?
Yeah. You all
I might have further insight.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Oh, and with a
Very
Gandalf
good.
rune. So Gorik
Nice.
and Kalan here, you guys know that the Eord Skrafa, that is in the tongue of Rohan. That is not Dunland. That's supposedly a great stone tomb that was built in the second age of the world, that forgotten kings of men were buried there, but no history of their great deeds is preserved, even among the wise.
Huh. Why would they be going there?
We were considering spirit as something that doesn't leave tracks.
So yeah, maybe they are going after some sort of spirit.
Interesting.
About an hour
One
into
mission
the walk back
at a time.
towards Crow Hall, you begin to hear all these crows calling. And Tawirla says, "Ah, Dunwalla approaches." And sure enough, you see Dunwalla and Dunrock appear. And Dunwalla has crows that have alighted upon her shoulder, and her staff is adorned with black crow feathers. And they both bow and say, "Tawirlas, we offer you our fealty. It is a joy to see you again after so long." And they kind of look at all of you. You have heard that they were just there talking to Tawirlas, but it's like they're trying to double speak. They're saying something else for your benefit, saying that, "Oh, we haven't seen you in a while." But Tawirlas let slip that they were there shortly before you got there. He then, Tawirlas bows low and says, "Dunwalla, Dunrock, meet our friends. They say they are friends of Crow Hall." And Dunrock says, "Yes, we know them. We have met them. They journeyed with us to come and find you." And Tawirla says, "Dunwalla, was your mission a success?" And she bows her head and says, "Yes. Before 2 days have passed, I see that you will be chieftain of Crow Hall." And Tawirlas beams with pride. And they begin to walk back towards Crow Hollow.
How can that be?
After a very short amount of time, maybe 15 minutes or so, you hear a loud cry coming from the woods behind you. It sounds almost like an animal that's been wounded or injured, or trying to maybe cry out some sort of alarm or warning. And Adrihil, your
Probably
first thoughts go
Seppa.
to Seppa, that something has happened to Seppa.
I will tell my companions, whichever is closest to me, that I had suggested that Seppa follow us, and that I'm concerned about his well-being, that I would like to investigate if someone would care to join me.
Yes.
Yeah, Thaladir will go with you if nobody else does.
I'll go too.
As you guys go, those that stay see Dunwalla and Tawirlas and Dunrock share a grin and a knowing look. Let's go to what else? So we've got Adrihil, Kalan here, and who else went with Adrihil and Kalan here?
Thaladir.
Thaladir. Okay. So Moriel, Gorik, and Targan. I'm just going to move you guys over kind of to the side here. And then let me move Kalan here over here. You see, when you get into the where you heard the sound, you see Seppa, and he is lying on the ground, and he is writhing as though he's in pain, and there is a look on his face of terror, and you can see that he has a wound in his chest, and it looks like it may be mortal. This wound, there's no blood coming from it, but you see this opening in his chest. You can see rib bones. You see the pulsating movements of his lung through that wound. And then as you look on, you see in the darkening light, you see a shadow that begins to loom over. And I'm going to move a token on here. And you see a figure. Let me post a picture. That materializes just over him. And this figure begins to speak. And none of you speak this language. It sounds, it's a human tongue, but it's an old tongue. And Adrihil, as a ranger, you probably recognize this is the language of Rohan. And this figure will stand up and point at the three of you, and you're going to be in combat with the beast of Dunland, the thing that has harried the people, something that rose up from the Eodscrafa. If Thaladir, do you want to take an opening volley?
No, that's not what I even can do.
Can do. How about Adrihil?
Yes, could my opening volley be to hoot like an owl to
Absolutely
alert the others to this danger?
Absolutely. So in round 2, the others can show up. I was hoping somebody would do that. How about Cullen here?
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
Okay. Go ahead and take a shot.
Oh, I was wondering that. I guess that wouldn't work. The Folk of the Dusk magical success, that's skill rolls. That doesn't count for attacks, right?
Yep.
Okay. But I will set a hope. Come on. Oh no.
Well, good news, it's a success, but the bad news is it makes you miserable. Because your hope is now, or your shadow and hope are now at an equal level. You have 2 hope and 2 shadow. So you will become miserable. I'll mark that. But you deal damage. Your bow strikes this creature, and it takes damage. Now, this is a thing of terror. So the 3 of you, when you take sight of this creature, all of you have to make a valor roll. And this is for 3 shadow points. If you fail this valor roll, you are daunted and cannot spend hope for the rest of the fight. So you want to make this roll. You're probably going to take shadow unless you... well, I don't think you can get 3 or 2 6s. Oh, look at that. So, Khaled here, you will take 2 points of shadow.
Okay.
Could I use my leadership feature to become inspired as I try not to look daunted by this horror?
Yep, absolutely. And
so how about proud?
Yes, proud would work as well.
Thank you.
So Adrihil, you take 2 points of shadow. Ooh, and Thaladir, you take 1 point of shadow, and all of you can spend hope during the fight. Now, the first thing that this will do as part of an opening volley is a dreadful spell. So it can spend 1 hate to make one of you gain 3 shadow points through sorcery, and if you fail your shadow test, or if you're miserable, when you will fall unconscious and may be roused only with a song roll. Otherwise, you wake up after 1 hour. So this can be rough. Let me see who it will target. I've got a coin flipper here. There we go.
Aladir says something like, "Oh, Elbereth," as the player says, "Oh shit."
Oh, Thaladir, that's who it's going after. So Thaladir, this is a wisdom roll. This is against sorcery, and you will gain 3 shadow points. If you fail this test, then you will fall unconscious.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Well, Gandalf rune, nice. So you'll take 2 points of shadow, but you do not fall unconscious. All right, then we will go to close combat. So you can adjust your stance if you like. At least one of you has to engage it in close combat for anyone else to use a bow.
I had a question.
Yes.
Can keen-eyed or swift be used in distinctive features be used in combat?
You know, I'm totally okay with it. If you spend a point of hope, I'll let you become inspired. If there's I think keen-eyed if you're looking for a weakness, or swift if you're just trying to overwhelm it with a flurry of blows, absolutely.
Okay.
Up first is Kalan here.
Okay. So yeah, I might use my longsword. So, yeah, I might do swift and do a flurry of blows or something.
Ooh, 17 damage. A huge flurry of blows flies in at this Barrow Wight as you seek to overwhelm it. Adrahil, you're up next.
Yes, and have the rest of our company arrived?
No, they will arrive after the Wight goes.
Ah, okay. Could I use my feature tall to become inspired? As I perhaps tower over this, and it allows me to perhaps take longer swings.
I'm gonna say no because this guy was a tall warrior. He was a king of Rohan long ago.
All right. In that case, could I do honorable as I seek to
Yes.
defend the?
You're defending Crow Hall and defending
Seppa?
Seppa. Yep. Okay, you can't make that a piercing blow, but you can for sure make it a heavy blow. Nice. 12 damage. So it will spend a point of hate and is going to... That would cause it to go to 0 endurance. This will take it back to full endurance.
Oh.
This is what sucks about the Wights, is they can just keep pumping hit points at it. Thaladir, your turn.
I think I just punch it. I don't think there is a better option here at this point. Why would I have penalty? I shouldn't have penalty.
Probably because your defensive stance.
Oh, that's how it marks. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's try it this way. So I should be still rolling. Yeah, 2 dice. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's correct then. Nope.
That is a fail. The Barrow Wight will go. You try and slash and smash at it, but it's ineffective.
Yeah, I'm still mostly hiding behind the shield to figure it out.
Yeah. Ooh, it goes after Adrahil. And it will swing at you with an ancient sword, the same one that it struck the blow against Seppa with. And, ooh, it misses. Okay, we go to the next round. I'm going to bring in the others now. Let me grab you into here, and we go to the next round. All right, you guys can choose your stances. I'm going to say for those coming in, you can make a ranged attack this round, so I'll keep you in range unless you want to try to rush up. I'll have you make an athletics roll. If you pass that, you'll be able to rush up and make a close combat attack.
I think Gorik will try to rush up.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Gorik would do. So, Gorik, give me an athletics roll.
Let's go athletics, and can we invoke our fierce
Absolutely.
distinctive feature? He is just kind of shouting, not quite running on all fours, but he is ravenous, charging in. So we will hope, inspire, and roll.
Oh, shoot. No. Close. Missed it by 5. So you'll be able to sprint, but you won't be able to get your attack, but you'll be right there next round. Adrahil, you're up.
I again swing with my sword.
Ooh, whew.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Monstrous hit. And let me have, before I go to Kellen here, let me have Goric, Moriel, and Targon. You need to make that Valor roll when you see this white. And you'll gain 3 shadow. And if you can't pass this roll, you cannot spend hope.
And where do we click for the Valor
So
roll?
it's up at the top. You'll see Valor and Wisdom. Up at the top right, I think.
For some reason, it doesn't look clickable, but it is. All right.
So, Targon, you'll take 3 points of shadow and you cannot spend hope. Moriel, same thing, 3 points of shadow and cannot spend hope. Oof, and Goric, same thing. So on the shadow is kind of, I think it's in the middle of your character sheet. And there's a small diamond that is temporary. That's where you want to put it. You don't want to put it in shadow scars. Those are permanent. So you want to put it in the temporary diamond. Yeah, perfect. And then Kellen here, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to take another swing.
Nice. It will spend another point of hate and go back to full HP.
Oh, do we need fire or something? Does anyone have fire?
Yeah, I was about to think about on that. I don't suppose I would have a torch on my hand. Yeah, I would probably have to make fire right now, which is not an easy feat.
Yeah, especially while you're in close. Thaladir, it's your turn.
What would it take for me to try and light a torch in this fine Marktag?
I would say where you're in close like that, you'd probably have to, if you want to step back so that you're not getting hit, it's probably what you'd have to do. You would need to take a defensive stance and succeed. If you succeed, then you can step back and then light your torch. You're basically just protecting yourself as you back up, but you're not actually attacking. But if you succeed, rather than doing damage, you can get back and light that torch. That's kind of how retreating and disengaging works.
I don't think it's practical. I simply shout at my rearward comrades and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Someone get a fire going against this thing, and yeah, again I will try to hack at it.
Perfect. Oof, not quite. Targon, do you have a ranged weapon?
And I'll stay ranged with my bow.
Okay, go ahead and take a shot. Just target the barrel white. Ooh, was that a hit? Yes, that's going to be a piercing blow. Oh, you know what? So you rolled bows instead of on your bow, so it will do damage.
It was on the bow.
Oh, you rolled on your bow. Yep. Yeah, usually it will show me the damage and stuff. But that'll do 3 damage, and then he needs to make a protection roll and beat a 14. So let me give him his protection roll first. So he has to beat a 14. And he does not. So he will take a wound. He's got...
Pierce. So.
Yeah, he has Deathless, so he can spend a point of hate to cancel that wound, which he will have to. But then he will take 3 points of damage from the bow shot as well. Perfect. Moriel.
Can I get a fire going?
Yeah. So since you're not in imminent danger, you can easily get a fire going. Do you light a torch or just some kindling?
Just some kindling, I guess.
Perfect. And we go to the barrel white. I'll see who he attacks. It won't be Targon or Moriel. No, I said it won't be Targon or Moriel. Sorry, let me do that again. Not Targon or Moriel. Goes after Kalan here.
Oof.
With his ancient sword. Oh, he rolled a 19, but he needed to beat a 20, so just barely missed.
What a parry score.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We go to the next round. If anyone wants to change their stance, especially Targon or Moriel, if you want to charge in, you can. We will go Goric first.
I would like to.
Oh, yeah. So if you right-click your token, then on the left-hand side you'll see 2 cross swords is close combat, the axe is open, the shield is defensive, and then rearward is the bow. So Targon, let's have you go first.
Got it. I'm going to use my bow.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, my spear.
Your spear? Excellent. Ooh. So are you clicking on your spear skill or on your actual weapon?
On the weapon combat proficiency.
Oh, so that was a success, but instead of clicking on the combat proficiency, below that you'll see a picture of your weapons. And if you click on your actual spear, then it'll automate the damage and stuff.
I see it down there.
But so he's going to take
I got
5
it.
damage, plus that'll be a wound. So let me roll his protection roll on that wound. I'll give him the 5 damage first. Okay, there's 5 damage. Protection roll, he needs to beat a 16. And he does. So he's not wounded, but he does take the 5 damage from the spear. Goric, you're up next.
Alright, Goric comes in swinging at his knees.
Ooh.
Clicking the weapon. Alright.
Nice. So now it should give you a prompt. Do you want to make that a heavy blow?
I think that I'm going to swing for the knees and then fend off.
Okay,
So I'll protect
perfect.
myself on the next one.
Excellent. So let me apply damage. Excellent. And then Kalan here.
Is there any way for me to reach that fire that Moriel started?
You can call for it. If Moriel, did you light? Was it a torch or just some kindling?
I think I said just kindling.
You'd have to disengage to get to the fire, so you'd have to switch to a defensive stance and make an attack roll. And if it succeeds, then you'd be able to get away and get over to the fire. Otherwise, Moriel maybe, gets a flaming arrow and fires it at the barrel white.
Could I use the kindling and put a torch to it and then try to pass the torch on to someone?
In fact, if you want to do that now, we can go out of order.
Okay.
You could put a torch in there and then you move up and hand Cullen here a torch.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So then, Cullen here, if you want to attack with that torch, you can just roll your brawling skill. It'll be so there won't be a weapon, but above that you'll see a brawling skill.
Oh yeah.
And if you hit, we will factor in the damage.
Okay. Oh. No.
You swing it, and it definitely does not like that. It seems to to shy away from that fire, taking a step back, but it wasn't enough to deal it any sort of damage. Thaladir.
I think, yeah, hacking and slashing is the order of the day once we get the fire going. So I will just keep hitting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hit for 6
Something.
damage. It's a good hit. Adrahil.
I will hit it again with my sword.
Ooh, you could make that a piercing blow. He has to make a protection roll. And he is wounded. He's going to spend a point of hate. Oh, okay, look at this. So he's going to spend a point of hate to cancel the wound. And then he has to spend another point of hate because he's going to drop to 0. And with the fire there, he's out of hate. Moriel, use your turn to light the torch and bring it over. So it's the Barrow White's turn. He can attack any one of you, but now his days are numbered because he cannot fend off any more attacks. I don't think any of you have even taken any damage. Adrahil. I'll see if I can remedy that. He swings his ancient sword at you. Oh, yeah, okay, Adrahil, you need to make a protection roll. It's in the chat. Click on protection roll test. You are protected. You will take some damage. Let me apply that to you. Nice. And so you are weary, Adrahil. Let me mark you as weary. Oh, perfect. It did it automatically. As your endurance dropped below your load. We now go to the next round. And if anyone wants to change stance, they can. Targon, you're first.
Okay, I will be using Great Spear, and I'm just going to aim directly for his chest. Let's roll.
Oh, nice. You can make that a piercing blow.
Finishing blow.
Do piercing blow and maybe heavy blow.
Yeah, a heavy blow.
Ooh. All right, 21 damage. Oh, man. Next one to hit him will take him out. Thaladir, you're up next.
Yeah, did that work?
It did, yep.
Okay.
Really, with these eyes of Sauron.
I have Sauron.
These dice are going today.
Right? Goric.
All right, this one we're leaping in the air and going for the head.
Oh, he has to make a protection roll. Yes, we are. In fact,
Yeah.
Goric, the question is, do you cut off his head? Which this will... Yes. Okay. How do you do it, Goric?
I think we do a clean sweep left to right. Take the head off.
Nice. As the axe cleaves through, the head comes off, and the clothes, the old ancient chainmail it's wearing, clatters to the ground, and his ancient sword clatters to the ground as well. And you hear this hissing, wheezing sound as air suddenly is forced out of this clearing, as his body is destroyed and his soul is freed. Whether that is permanent or short-lived, you don't know, but you know that whatever that threat was is now no longer present. Kellen, here you go next in the order. I'm going to say you hear a gasp, and it is Seppa, and Seppa is on the ground, and you look over and you can see he is rapidly dying from that wound in his chest.
I'll quick run over to him and examine his wound.
Yeah,
See if there's anything I can do.
Give me a healing roll.
Oh wait, is it dark out?
It is dark.
Okay. So then
Make an automatic success. You have 1 point of hope left.
Yeah. Oh, it won't let me click magical because I have exactly. Oh wait, I can click magical. Never mind. Yeah, so I'm using my last hope to. There we go.
Nice. You put your hands on Seppa, and his breathing is shallow. You see the wound, and you call upon. Let me raise the eye awareness. You call upon your elven magic to heal him, and it is only through the gift of the Valar that he is able to continue living. As you see the wounds quickly knit shut, and that is the magical thing that you all see and experience as his wounds suddenly clothes as though it had never happened. It will leave a scar that he will carry forever, but that's one of many scars that he has. But you see the color returning to his cheeks, and whatever beast that he was becoming or fighting off seems to have fled, and you just see a tired man, hungry, scared, and cold, laying on the ground. And he just keeps whispering, Gleadwin, Gleadwin, protect her.
We will. We will. I don't know if you want to come with us. I
Yes.
don't think there's any hope for the son. I think the daughter is the one who should rule.
Help
I
me
think
up.
we're going. Yes, of course.
Let
I'll
us
help him up.
let us go.
They're in cahoots.
If
Together.
Gorsad is just, he will make the wise choice. This is what Sigulf would ask.
Yep.
And as you go back to where you left...
Before we leave,
yes.
can we pick something like a trophy as a proof that we killed it? Because I don't think anyone from the keep saw us.
Yeah, there's that ancient
Yeah.
sword.
Let's grab that.
It is
Burn the body.
I don't think they leave bodies, but yeah,
No,
if there is body, we'll
there's old chainmail and that ancient sword.
Spirit.
What's that old chainmail all about?
So that's whatever he was wearing. This was likely a king of Rohan from the Second Age, was buried at the Aeon Scrafa. And it seems as though perhaps Dunwalla had lured this out of its barrow and maybe seemed to have some element of control over it.
Yeah, someone should
Can we
definitely take.
make a roll to find out more?
Yeah, a lore roll would be great. Or a riddle roll. Either one.
I could do it. Something about the armor and the sword calling something with me.
Nice, a great success. So this is of Rohan make. In fact, you look at the ancient sword, and the hilt looks like two horse heads coming across. This would be recognized by anyone in Dunland as belonging to Rohan. That would be for any normal Dunland warrior or citizen. That would be a terrible sacrilege to think that someone raised up an old king of Rohan to come and harry Crowhall, especially if it was Dunwalla, and it's all kind of pointing to that she has
else?
meddled
Right.
in ancient things to try and put Tuirlis on the throne. So yeah, looking at this is definitely an old warrior of Rohan, and perhaps
As a treasure hunter, I think Gorik might take that chainmail, assuming one of the sword wielders might want that sword. If no one wants it, though, the treasure hunter in me will take them both.
I mean, I'll take it if no one else wants it. I'm a treasure hunter too.
So yeah, let me
Right.
let me throw
I yield.
the coat of mail in the chat. If anybody wants that, you can take it. And then I'll put the sword into the chat as well.
the Gorak who made the final killing blow. First dibs.
Now, if you go marching back into Crow Hall wearing armor of Rohan and wielding a sword, that may not go over well. But if you bring
we'll
it,
keep the
Could bury it here.
veil at least tucked away for the time being.
yeah. When you head back to where you had left Tuirlis, Dunrock, and Dunwalla, they have moved on. They didn't seem to care. Whatever that sound was, they are far in the distance. And after a time, you catch up to them just as they're entering into Crow Hall. And I'm going to take us inside Crow Hall. And let me grab your tokens here. And you see Gorsad is beaming as he welcomes Tuirlis back. He says, "Dunrock, my friend, you have done it. You have brought my son home." And as the six of you show up, you see a look on Gorsad, Dunwalla, and Tuirlis' faces like, they're supposed to be dead. What are they doing here? And Gorsad beams, "Oh, my new friends. I'm grateful for your success. I was told you had fallen. They said you had fallen prey to the beast."
Do we look like we have fallen prey to a beast?
Indeed, we are not.
We regret to say the rumors of our death were greatly exaggerated.
Clearly that is the case. Well, who is this? Who is this fellow you bring with you? I do not recognize him, and he points at Seppa.
We allow Seppa to introduce himself.
And Seppa snarls and begins to, almost like a feral animal, begins to pace back and forth slightly, snarling, looking at
I will
Tuirlis.
probably say that this is Seppa, servant of...
Sigulf?
Fuck, I forgot the name. Sigulf. A man, an innocent man who seeks justice in your halls.
Justice. Allow me to pass my wisdom on to all assembled here in the hall. And we're going to have one more council here with Gorsad. So let me get this set up. So this is the judgments of Gorsad. Okay, so the first thing we need with any council is we need an introduction. In fact, let's. I have a council page. Let's go to the council page. We can all look at this. So we need an introduction. So one of you will make either an awe, a courtesy, or a riddle roll. And if you succeed, then the time limit on this is 4 plus 1 for every 6 that you roll. If you fail, the time limit is 3. And I'm going to set the resistance. It's either going to be 3 successes, 6 successes, or 9. It is depending on what you ask of Gorsad. So I'm going to tell you there's 4 specific things that you can ask in this council. And depending on how many you ask for, that is what the difficulty will be. So there is sending one of his kin to Isengard, either Tuirlis or Vila, sparing Seppa's life, freeing Gleadwin, and then accusing a Dunlending, such as Dunwalla, Dunrock, or Tuirlis, of some misdeed, and convincing Gorsad of that guilt. So whatever of those you decide to do, if you do the last one, the difficulty that will be 9 to try to convince him of their guilt. If you do 1 or 2, the resistance is 3. If you do 3 demands, that's 6. And if you do all 4, or the accusing a Dunlending of this, that will be 9 successes. So what do you want to get out of Gorsad, of those 4 things? In fact, I'll type them into the chat. So send...
Personally, I kind of feel like we swing for the fences.
Right?
Yeah.
Do I remember correctly that Saruman's patronage allows us to improve our successes on the
It does.
council?
At the end, you can dump a number of fellowship points into it to equal successes. So, win. And then
How many fellowship points do we have at this point?
Right
My
now
sheet
we-
says 0, but I think that's wrong.
we have 5 total ones.
We never had a break to spend them, so
Yep, we've used one, and that was
Yeah.
for was it a riddle roll?
yeah, for a riddle.
Yep.
To figure out who is the monster.
So those are our 4 choices. If we do we want to do them all? If we do them all, it's a 9. If we want to do at least to accuse Dunrock, Dunwalla, or Tuirlis of misdeeds, that'll be 9 anyway.
Yes, I think that for Adrahil, he has promises to keep, and all of them are required.
Yeah.
Anyone object to doing all of them?
Yeah. The first 3 definitely, and the last we want justice as well.
I'm not sure why would we. Why is there a point of sparing Seppa? Like, is he accused of anything?
He will likely be the fall guy. They're probably going to think he's the beast.
So Dunwalla probably
Okay,
says that he was the beast all along.
Yes.
And we brought him here. Unfortunate.
So if we want to try and do all of those, difficulty will be 9. We need someone to make an introduction. They will do an awe, a courtesy, or a riddle roll. And then we will get some bonuses from the attitude toward us will be open because our initial council with Gorsad was successful. If we can offer proof that we slew the beast, then the attitude will be moved to friendly. And so friendly means you get a bonus die on all of your rolls after the introduction. So if we present the sword and the chainmail, which I'm glad you guys took some, I was hoping you would. Who wants to make the introduction? Awe, courtesy, or riddle?
I have a decent awe if nobody else wants to do it.
Yeah, I can also do reasonable. But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think Gorik will step up and meet the chieftain eye to eye, or as close as he can, as high as he is off the ground. It says, "Great chieftain, see, we have done what we said we would do." And he throws the chainmail of the beast on the ground in front of him, and I assume the sword is shown as well. He says, "We have done what we said we would do. Now you, in your great wisdom, deal out the justice you said you would."
Weapons and armor of Rohan, he says. This is the beast?
The beast was a wight, a great king of old, awakened by some dark sorcery.
Ever will the Fourgoyle torment us. What sorcery could have done such a thing? And Dunwalla kind of looks side to side like, uh-oh. Go ahead, give me that roll. Add a bonus die for a fantastic speech.
Thanks. We'll also throw a hope point on
Nice.
there.
And do you have a distinctive feature that will give you inspired?
I don't. This works. I'll take the success.
Okay, we got a success. So we get 4 attempts. We need 9 successes. All right. So now we do the interaction portion. So this is where you can make an enhearten roll, an insight roll, a persuade, riddle, song, or any other skill that you think will play here. Now they are open towards you, so you'll get a bonus die on these rolls. If we need 9 successes, we get 4 attempts. And then at the end, we can dump fellowship points into this. We have 5, so we got to get at least 4 successes before we empty the fellowship pool to get this. So who's feeling lucky?
I was thinking maybe a lore roll and talking about knowledge of Eard Scraffa and knowing Dunwalla had gone there.
And you make that accusation openly about Dunwalla?
Yeah, knowing that it's like a Rohan tomb and that's where the white came from, yada, yada, yada. And
I like it.
Does that make sense?
Yep, let's do it. So we get a bonus die on that.
Okay, thank you. Fingers crossed.
Ooh, 1 success. Excellent.
Sorry.
We needed at least 1, and we got it. And he says, here at Scraffa, yes. To the northeast. The old hall of kings of the Strawheads. Dunwalla. Is this true? No, my lord, no, of course not. He lies. He speaks with the silver tongue of the wizard. Trust him not. And he weighs her words and yours. You can see a look on his face like maybe he's growing tired of Dunwalla. Who's next?
I will probably try rolling Persuade, but I still need to figure out the argument in my head.
Does someone want to go first before you do Persuade?
I can continue along the lore lines. Basically, who else would have the skill and the magic to invoke this wight of old, from Rohan, and to explain, continue the point the finger at Dunlaw.
Nice.
Using this knowledge, the lore knowledge.
Okay. Oh, that was close. You missed it by 1. So that will count as a fail. He says, you have told me these arguments over and over, but I would hear from her own mouth, and she tells me this is not the case, but where is the proof? Where is the proof of her sorcery? Perhaps this creature from Rohan was brought up by them, by our enemies, not by one of our own. You have failed to impress. Who's next?
Can I?
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. So my point in persuasion is really talk of the wizards and the Forgil. Is my reasoning is really that their walls are stout, their crows protect them and everything, but they need to move on with the times because they should. Like, I am basically shilling for Saruman by now.
Yeah.
They should join him in his wisdom so that he can share with them the secrets of better metal making, of agriculture, so they don't need to be stealing sheep to not die, so they actually have some wealth and wisdom themselves. So they should try to send someone, one of their own, and maybe plead with the wizard to teach them not of rhetorics, but of, like, more practical skills.
Yeah. Now you'll get a bonus die because he's open to this talk, but also add another one because he was once a tutor of Saruman and he sees the wisdom in that.
Okay. So that's altogether 2 bonus die. I will put a point in hope in that. That's no, I don't think I can inspire that.
Oh, Gandalf rune and a 6. That's 2 successes. Says, yes, my time there with the wizard was well spent. He made me the sort of man that I am now. All right. No pressure, but we've got 1 more attempt, and we need at least 1 success so we can dump the 5 from Saruman into it.
So yeah, again, I am offering 1 point in hope in support of whoever is trying it.
Now, Moriel, you were going to speak up. Do you want to take this role?
I'll let someone else do it.
So you have both you or Adrahil have a fellowship focus. If one of you does it, the other one, if they want to donate a point of hope, that will count as 2 extra dice. Plus, you're offering to get some. You'll have a bonus because it's open. So either you or Adrahil may have one of the best chances at this, but I don't want to pressure you into doing something. Anyone that's feeling confident,
Yes, I could do enhearten and try and enhearten him.
And maybe Moriel gives you a point of hope.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have any of the traveling gear that helps you, anything like that, be sure to take that into account. How do you enhearten him?
Yes, good king, as I have stayed in your hall, I've come to know you as a just and wise ruler. I beseech thee now to use this wisdom, and your son, Tawirlus, he is strong, but he is not wise, and I'd ask that you see the truth of this, though it may pain you so, and see that justice is dealt. This man here, Seppa, he was wronged by your son and his warriors. His farm was burned and sheep stolen. While this may be the way of your people, the daughter of that farmer, Gleadwin, was also taken, and this is wrong. You know this to be wrong, and I'd ask that you free them. Free Gleodwin as is right, and see that your son is punished as is correct. And while he may not be fit to rule now, perhaps tutelage under Saruman may correct this. But certainly something must be done. And the others, Dunrock and Dunholla, they seem to be conspirators behind this, and I would see that you are not stabbed in the back as though you were a lesser king, but that rather you have men of wisdom around you and are fit to rule.
You touch on almost, or in fact, I think you touched on all the points, everything that we're trying to accomplish here in that, and you're the first to mention Gleadwin, and he looks at Vila, his young daughter, and sees in her someone of the same age as Gleadwin, and the thought passes through his mind of, what if another chieftain of another Dunlanding Hall were to take my daughter? So add you'll get a bonus die because it's open, add an extra bonus die to this for an excellent speech. And then if you want to spend hope, and if you have a distinctive feature that will let you be inspired, and then Moriel, are you going to help him?
Yes.
What do you say anything to help him, or how do you use your hope?
I guess I'm just kind of backing him up on his argument.
Okay, go ahead and spend a point of hope, and then Adrihil, if you click on help from a companion, then you should be able to click on Fellowship Focus.
Yes. Could I use honorable as my distinctive feature?
Absolutely.
Ooh,
that's a lot of
one
dice.
those dice. Yeah.
Ooh,
Nice.
that is 3 successes. So it'll end up as a failure. However, we can dump 3 points from our fellowship pool into that. And so to do that, narratively, how does Saruman play into this to help us to achieve this council? Anyone have an idea? If not, I can.
I have, but it's a disturbing one.
Let's hear it.
When Adrahil is talking, we actually hear Saruman's voice and his inflection, intonation.
Yes.
It kind of looks like he's actually possessing Adrahil.
And yeah, so it's kind of like when Theoden is and
Yeah,
Gandalf are
exactly.
speaking. Yeah, so you begin to hear Saruman's voice coming out of Adrahil's mouth, and it's a sense of awe that's going to add a high awareness as you hear the voice of Saruman imploring wisdom to Gorsad. Okay, so with a success, Gorsad agrees. He says, "Yes, I will spare this man's life. We will make amends. He is without a home. He has a home here now among us, should he choose. The girl, Gleadwin, she is free of her own will. Her family was taken from her. She shall have a family here now. With you, if you'll take him, and she points at Seppa, and the girl nods and tears flow from her eyes as Seppa reaches out to embrace her. My daughter will return with you to Isengard. I would prefer that she is educated there, although Dunwalla has spoken against it. I have words for Dunwalla. Witch, step forward. You have done ill by your chief. You have done ill by your people. You have brought evil upon us. You have brought death to those who you once called family. You have corrupted my son, Twirless. I banish you, Dunwalla, and Dunrock, from Crow Hall. May you find a suitable place to go and die. Twirless, you are bold, you are brave, but you are reckless. You are guilty of what they have said. You owe this girl and this man, and he points at Seppa and Gleadwin. You owe them retribution. You will make amends. You will be responsible for her education in the ways of Dunland. You will be responsible for this man. If any harm falls upon this man, I will hear of it. Twirless, to rule is not merely to command. It is to help, to heal, to look after the least of these, here in this hall. That all of us may stand together, not on top of one another. Thus I pass my judgment, and he stands up and thrusts his spear down into the ground, and all in the hall begin to applaud and cheer as Dunrock and Dunwalla flee from his sight. We will fast forward back to Isengard. When you get back to Isengard, you are received briefly. The wizard is busy, but he assures you that he has been thoroughly informed of your deeds. He praises you for your results. And he says, as for Dunwalla and Dunrock, regretful, but perhaps inevitable, is his only comment. And that is the end of the Beast of Dunland. We need to go, and we'll have a Yule really quickly. Do we want to do that? We can't do it in Isengard. Saruman says no, go elsewhere. We can go to Rivendell. We can go to Bree. We can go to Tharbad, although it's kind of a hive of scum and villainy. But we can also now go to Crow Hall. We will be welcome there. Where do we want to spend our Yule? Anyone have a preference?
Well, Thaladir wants to go to Rivendell. That's his home.
Rivendell. The Rangers might like Rivendell.
I think Rivendell works.
I'm going to give everyone 4 skill points and 4 adventure points. Normally you get 3, but because you accomplished this very well, I'm going to give everyone an extra one. We will also the sword we found. Who was our treasure hunter? Yep. Do we have 1 or 2 treasure hunters?
I'm a treasure hunter and took
True.
the chainmail.
Yeah, Kalan here took the sword.
Let me have the 2 treasure hunters roll a feat die. So you are going to type /R space 1D. Actually, make it 2DF. So type /R space 2DF. Don't type, just the /. If you get a Gandalf rune or an Eye of Sauron, that sword will be magical. So the chainmail is not magical, nor is the sword. They are of fine craftsmanship, but they are not magical. Does Rivendell work for everyone?
Yes.
It's not far to get to. The first thing that we'll do, we're going to spend the season there. So we will winter in Rivendell. The next thing we want to do is we can spend, because it's Yule, we're going to add a few skill points to ourselves. you will recover your wits, or you will gain your wits score in skill points. And so on your sheet, down at the bottom, it should have your skill points and adventure points. So take your wit score. That's the small box, or the small number in the diamond next to wits, not the one that says TN, but the little number. You'll add that number to your skill points, and then we can spend points. Does anyone not see where that is?
I see the number, but what do you mean by add to skill points? Or where do we do that?
So look at the number of, or what is your wit score?
4.
4. So then if we go down to the bottom of your sheet, you've got, it'll have fellowship, then skill points and adventure points. You're going to add 4 to your skill points. I'll go ahead and add it in there. So now you have 11 skill points and 7 adventure points. So we're going to spend those now, and there is a table, and I'm going to post it up here so you guys can see it. Right here. This shows how much stuff costs to improve. So I'll post it. So if you want to improve a skill, not a combat skill, but a regular skill, here's the cost. So if you already have like 1 diamond, or if you have no diamonds and you want to go to level 1, it'll cost you 4 skill points. To go from 1 to 2 will cost you 8, 2 to 3 will cost you 12, etc. So that's just skill points. Adventure points are used to raise your valor or wisdom. It'll cost 8 to go to valor 2 or 8 to go to wisdom 2. Or if you want to improve your combat skills, that uses adventure points as well. So if you have like a 2 in bows and you want to go to a 3, it will cost you 12 adventure points. So you're welcome to spend your points. If anyone needs any help, let me know. Actually, you might need my help to make it happen on the character sheet. So maybe let's go kind of in some semblance of order here. Maybe let's start with Kalan here. Is there a skill that you want to improve with your skill points?
So the skill points can't be used for weapons?
Right. Adventure points are used for weapons. Skill points are just for the things that are under strength, heart, and wits.
Okay, and skill points are also not valor or wisdom.
Right. Those are also adventure points.
Okay.
And let's see. You've got 13 skill and 7 adventure points.
Yeah, so let's see. Taking something to 3 would be 12. Let's see. Out of these, what could awareness maybe, or athletics. I'm thinking maybe awareness.
Awareness to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll cost you 12. And
so then I should have 1 left.
Yep, so I'll adjust that on your sheet. And then those will carry over for next time. Do you want to improve a combat skill? You could pick up like axes or spears. It would cost you 4 to go to rank 1 in those. Or you could save those points for the next fellowship phase to either bump up valor, wisdom, or like
I
swords.
kind of want to save them, except I might want to... Do I have enough to get a valor to 2?
You'd need 8. You're short 1
need 8
on that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to save them then.
Okay, I'm going to take miserable off. You're going to recover all of your hope. So I'm going to max out your hope. You're also going to recover some shadow. So we're each going to recover if we have actively hindered or endangered the enemy. We haven't really done that. That would be 2. But if we have marginally interfered, which we have, that'll be 1. So everybody can remove 1 shadow point. That'll come out of your temporary shadow.
Okay.
So if you want to move that, perfect. Let's go to Thaladir next. Do you have skills that you want to improve? Now you've got a little more because you use this character in a one-shot, and I let you carry that XP over. So yeah, you got 18 skill points and 13 adventure points.
Yeah, I think what we should have is more persuade. So I will probably improve the persuade from level 1 to level 2.
Okay, that'll cost you 8 skill points.
Technically, I can improve something from 1 to 2, or from 0 to 1.
Uh-huh. But you couldn't go from like 1 to 3. You can only do
Yeah.
one rank at a time.
Yep. I think I will wait. I'm kind of as a player, I kind of want to have more song and try to use
Yeah.
that skill for what I can. So I will bank the rest of the skill points.
Okay, what about adventure points? Do you want to do valor, wisdom, or combat
I would
proficiency?
like to become more virtuous, so a point in wisdom, if I may.
Excellent. So then you will also get a virtue. Do you know what virtue you want to take?
Yeah, I will try the Might of the Firstborn. Let's try if I can have some fun with it.
That will be fun. That's then the high elves. Oh, let's see. I thought I had. I don't think I have it in here. I will add it in later and add it to your character.
Yeah, no worries.
So perfect. We will come back to that. Let's go to Moriel. Do you know what improvements you want to do? And also, Thaladir, you can restore all of your hope and remove one shadow as well.
I already did remove one shadow, so this
Perfect.
is what I am now.
Thank you. Just go ahead and restore all of your hope, please.
Done.
How about you, Moriel? Do you know what you want?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go from 0 to 1 in Enhearten and Persuade.
Hearten and Persuade. That will cost you 8 points. And anything with your adventure points?
No, I'm gonna save.
Gonna save that? Okay. And then make sure you get all your hope back. In fact, I got your sheet open. I can do it right now. There we go. And then let's go to Goric. Do you know what you want to do?
Think I'm going to save this time around and
Okay.
go big next time.
Perfect. And
everyone restores all their hope, correct?
yeah, yep. All your hope, all of your hope gets restored. Otherwise, during a fellowship phase, your heart score, you improve that much hope, or you restore that much hope. But at Yule, it's all of it. How about Adrahil?
Yes, I'll improve my awe score to 2.
Okay, that will cost you 8. And bank the rest.
Yeah, I don't think I can afford anything else.
Okay, and then just make sure you do the shadow and the hope, and then we go to Targon. Do you want to improve a skill?
Yeah, so I'd like to go one on scan, so from 1 to 2.
1 to 2, nice.
So that'll be 8 points.
Yep.
And we'll save the adventure points.
Perfect. And your hope is back. Shadow looks good. Excellent. Okay, so then the next thing that we do is we can do an undertaking. And so I put a list in the Discord about that. And some of this we can do like in between this session and next session. There's things like gather rumors. We won't be able to meet our patron, but we could meet other people associated with Saruman. They might meet us in Rivendell. We can ponder storied figures and maps. We can strengthen the fellowship. We can write a song. We can heal scars, but none of us have scars. We can donate towards raising an heir that would, if when we retire, they're our new player, or recount a story to change your distinctive feature. Is there anything specifically anyone wants to take as an undertaking, or we can do this in Discord in between sessions?
We have to have certain types of backgrounds to do certain.
Only for
Or the
some of
free
them.
one.
Yeah, so we get a free one. So everyone can choose one, and then there's a free one that we get that has to be based on one of the callings that we have. And it's listed in there, like if you're a captain, you can do this as a free undertaking, and etc.
So we can, for instance, gather rumors says a company, including a warden, can take this as a free undertaking, but someone could choose that even if they're not a warden.
Yep. So you could do that, and then I will give you a rumor for probably for our next adventure. Something about that, or
Yeah,
something
Everyone,
nearby.
everyone picks an undertaking, and together as a company, we can pick one of the free ones.
Yep,
got
exactly.
it. I think for my undertaking, I would like to ponder storied and figured maps.
Excellent. That helps us during journeys, so we get a +1 to all of our feat die rolls made to determine the nature of events. And so there's, we roll to see who the target is, and we roll to see what the event is in a journey, and we'll add 1 to that. The higher the number, the better. So that would be a great one to have. So I'm actually going to put that on our company.
I think I'd want to strengthen fellowship.
That's another good one. That will give us an extra point here.
If we don't take it as a free one, I will be gathering rumors. I just like to ponder lore and hear some more of it.
It's always good. So let me add gather rumors. That is you. We did strengthen fellowship.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gorik, do you want that sword? Because I already have a sword.
Sure. For treasure hunting flavor purposes, I won't necessarily use it in combat, but I like the idea of collecting the ancient white sword.
Nice, yeah.
And nobody has any
Warriors.
magic
Can I
items
also-
right now.
Yeah,
Correct?
no magic items yet.
No.
No. So could I also ponder storied and figured maps
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do it twice.
if somebody else has? Okay.
Okay. Anyone else have one that they want to do? Like write a song? Anyone want to do a song?
I think I'd like to write a song.
Okay. Moriel writes a song.
I think actually Rivendell songs get bonus to their composition, but I might be wrong.
Well, I love the idea. I think that might be in the elf book. I think it talks about that.
Yeah, I think it is in the realms, but I would probably not worry about it. Can I add one of the can I add Callan here as my fellowship support? I think he is a smart and social person.
So yeah, let's put him on. So fellowship focus.
Oh, you want to be fellowship focused?
Wonder
that makes
Twins
sense.
now. Now, Cullen,
I don't need you. You don't need to focus me. That's not the point.
Yeah, you can choose if you want to Thaladir, but it can be like Thaladir is really fond of you, and maybe you're fond of someone else. But that way, if he helps you, then you will get an extra die when you get help from your fellowship. But also, if you take a wound, then Thaladir will take shadow.
Oh.
So you have Perry 20, and I have full faith in you.
Right? Everyone's going to take you as their fellowship focus. Anything else anyone wants to do for an undertaking? Is there one we want to do as one of the free ones that we haven't already chosen? Like maybe
someone chose a song already.
Yeah, so we've got ponder storied and figured maps. We've got gather rumors. We have strengthen fellowship and write a song. We could, if anyone wants to change one of their distinctive features, you can do the recount a story. That lets you change one of your distinctive features. If not, we can just go with these. And I'll work up something in between this session and next to kind of factor these into the Yule.
Yes, I think Adrahil will simply write a song with Moriel.
Okay, perfect. And then the song, you have a choice of 3 different songs. There's a lay, which is good for councils. There's a song of victory that's good for combat, and a walking song for journey. And when you sing one of these songs, it removes the effects of being weary for the length of that thing, that journey, that combat, or that council. So songs can be super helpful. And we have some songs...
the Song of Helm Hammered Hand.
Yeah, Song of Helm Hammerhand we have. In fact, that's not on our thing, so let me put the Lay of Helm Hammerhand. There we go. Now that's on our fellowship. The Lay of Helm Hammerhand. That's a song of victory, so we can sing that in combat, and if anyone's weary, you just you ignore the effects of being weary. And that's once per session. You can also, we don't have magic items. There's Visit the Treasury, where you go home and you can return a, if you already have a keen bow, but you get a magic bow and you'd rather not have the keen one, you can return it, but then you can use that keen to unlock a feature on your magic bow. But that's probably for another.
Or even
time.
if you just want to figure out your useful items, or
Yeah,
actually
figure out,
your
what-
war gear, like
Yep.
shields and armor.
Yeah, what they're good at. Well, let's. Do we want to take any others, or I think we've covered pretty much all the good ones here, all the ones that at least we would be able to. Let's go ahead. We'll end the session here. I'm gonna stop the video, and then.
Do we drop all our fatigue too?
Oh yeah. All your fatigue will go away. So yeah, if you haven't done that, please remove all of your fatigue from your character. That shows up by your load. If you need to ditch that. Perfect. It's the little diamond by load will say fatigue. You recover all of that during that time. So one of the best virtues for a ranger, there's one that lets you ignore fatigue from journeys, and so you guys have like amazing shoes or something. You just keep on walking and not get tired.
Nice.
I'm going to go ahead and
Nice.
stop the video, and I'll get this posted here in just a couple of minutes.